What it do, everybody? Welcome back to the Film Cave, episode number 95, a special Wakandan episode, mother friggers. It's your boy Knight.
What's up, everybody? Logan here. Yeah, this is gonna be a big ass episode. I hope people are ready to go. This is one of the biggest movies of the year. We've been anticipating it for a few years, and we finally get to talk about this fucking thing. Spoilers and all. I mean, this man, look at him. He's got the necklace on. He's ready to go.
I am. Oops, I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, let's get this shit, man. I'm hyped.
Let's get it, man. Like you said, we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited to get to it. I've been itching to speak about it with this man since it came out.
Correct.
So we shall see what happens. Which sides do we lie? So if you like what you see here, please hit that thumbs up. Really helps the channel reach a lot more people. Hit that notification bell to be notified when all episodes drop. Most importantly, the best thing, the biggest thing, the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. It's easy, it's simple, and it's free, goddammit. The king would want it. The princess would want it. The Black Panther would want it. So do it. All right. Thank you so much.
There it is.
Absolutely. Oh my God, these pillows are completely uncomfortable and they keep sliding in this bitch.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah. That's gonna mess your back up because you have to like half flex to like keep where you want to be. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
So crippled rest of the night. Can't wait. All right, good sir. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm very ready. I'm excited.
Perfecto. Do we even have anything for out there in the world, or we just go straight into like the main things?
I have some things for out there in the world, just a couple.
Okay,
if we want to.
I don't have booty. So in that case, oh, I didn't do the lead up or anything. Fuck it, we're already here.
We're live.
We're here. We're live.
We'll do it live.
We're live. It's live. So it's basically gonna be out there in the world Logan hour because I ain't
just
got
gonna be
shit
me real
talking.
quick. Yeah, no,
it's gonna be you.
Well, that's the thing is like at the end of the day, my out there in the world is they're gonna be very short. First thing is I'm not finished with it yet, but I've been playing God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
I am 29 hours in.
God damn.
Which a friend of mine, Eric, who gets in the chat here sometimes, he finished while I was streaming last time. And I think he said it took him like barely over 38 hours or something like that. But he also is playing on a harder difficulty than me. I play on the easiest difficulty. I can't do I'm not good at games. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the story.
Normal at least?
No, I go for the story. Like, and when I tell you I've died, like I can't beat shit. Like I still get fucked up. But legitimately right now, like so God of War, I determined over like this past month when I replayed it twice in 3 weeks that it is my favorite game of all time. Like it's unbelievable. And then this one has done nothing but just like hand the baton over legitimately and just keep going up. The Norse mythology shit in this is fucking insane. Like it's so awesome. The storytelling, it's a long game, but it is fantastic so far. So I'm dying to see how this thing ends. I went and saw a movie last night, and then I'm obviously doing this tonight, so I haven't got to play since Sunday night. And my dumbass streamed till like 1:30 in the morning, had to get up 6:30.
Are you fiending?
And I'm like dying to finish this shit. So like I'm definitely gonna stream tomorrow night, definitely gonna stream Thursday night. Hopefully I'm done by then. If I can knock 2 big long streams out, that'd be great. But we'll see. If not, Friday night, and I should be finished with it. But so far, absolutely loving it. I will go. Hopefully by next week we can get I'll have like a true review for you guys. But unbelievable so far. So that's God of War Ragnarok. Holy shit, it's fucking incredible.
Okay.
Other thing is last night I went and saw Glass Onion, which is the Knives Out sequel. I was very excited for it. lucky enough to get a little press screening. And it was funny because at the theater there was literally like 3 or 4 different press screenings going on for all different movies. So I walked in there like, which one are you here for? And I was like, Glass Onion, and they're like, okay, that's this table over here. Like there was so
welcome
many.
Tony movie. Appreciate it to whoever you did.
Oh wow,
thank
awesome.
You.
That he's on yours. He's not on mine.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that, Tony movie, Chappie D9, Neil Blomkamp fan.
Guess you're excited
District
for Gran
9.
Turismo. All right.
That's great.
Right.
But yeah, Glass Onion, I really enjoyed it. I think it's an absolutely I think it's a ton of fun. Oh my god. This is someone that's been in my streams for God of War. I forget that it goes on Twitch too.
It does.
That's correct. We had like this whole, like, we went on for like 10 minutes because somebody was like, hey, aren't you, like, I forgot that you do YouTube, like, and then somebody was like, oh my god, you're famous, and like they like were playing this joke, and they were like, don't you do a podcast with another famous guy and you're famous, and like they just kept going. So what up, Matrix? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. But
Matrix. Heard it.
Yeah, that's correct. We went through a whole spiel. So it's a play on dominatrix. She's not even a mom. And I was like, that's too long of a name. I'm gonna call you Matrix. And she said, that's cool. So that's it.
That's fair. Welcome.
But yeah, so Glass Onion, really enjoyed it. Dave Bautista is most definitely not the standout. But like James Gunn with the first Guardians, you can tell Rian Johnson, like, there's a reason they went after Dave Bautista. It wasn't like, oh, Dave Bautista tried out for this role and got it for his acting chops. No, his character is a piece of shit and like annoying guy that's just Dave Bautista, like on steroids. Like
that's fair.
Basically, he's the Liver King, but this world's version of it. And so it works perfectly. He's just an asshole. He's, it's fantastic. But anyway, yeah, Glass Onion. I can't necessarily say I like it more than Knives Out. I think Knives Out is a better movie. I know, man. Exactly. But Daniel Craig is phenomenal as our boy Benoit Blanc coming back.
Benoit Blanc.
Yeah. And he is fantastic. I mean, like, it's funny. I when I was writing my review, I realized how like over the top he is, this accent and whatever. But it always works, and neither of the movies would work at all if it wasn't for him working. Like, if anyone was like, I just don't believe him, it's game over. But it works. The cast is fantastic. I don't even want to like necessarily say who my standout is, because it could be spoilers going forward, but I will say everyone's great. The people on the posters, there's actually there's one girl specifically that almost like gets nothing, and it's kind of like the point, but I feel a little sad for her, because she's all over the poster. Like, she's like part of the cast, but like she's the one of the 2 girls on the poster that you don't recognize, and she gets like 10 lines. And so I feel bad for that. But besides that, it's really fun. Rian Johnson literally wants to prove that he can just give you like reveal after reveal after reveal, to where one of my only negatives is like there's so many aha moments in this movie that like it stops being special. Like I'm just like, holy shit, like he's just gonna keep pulling shit out of the hat.
I can see that being the point, seeing Onion
exactly. Yeah, like it's he just wanted to display like, I'm in charge, I'm in control of this audience. Y'all do not see where this is going. And for the most part, he does that. So had a lot of fun. Really excited for people to see it. I hope people go see it in theaters instead of watching it on Netflix.
Odds are very low.
Yeah, I know, but you'll only get a week, and that week is over Thanksgiving, so it's kind of a tough call. But
I mean, I'm gonna see it in theaters because Knives Out is literally my designated Thanksgiving movie.
Damn straight.
So I watch that every Thanksgiving. So
that's awesome. I think that's great. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited for people to see it because he does it again. I mean, Ryan Johnson does it again. I just won't necessarily say it's better than Knives Out. Knives Out is just fucking peak whodunit fantasticness. But this is a worthy sequel to it. So there we go. We'll talk spoilers after you get to see it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very excited to see this movie, and I cannot wait.
Yes,
I believe the next movie now I want to see is The Menu, and then this.
Yeah.
I think those two. So we shall see.
I'm trying to see. Have you heard anything about the Fabelmans?
No.
So that's Spielberg, and apparently it's like Best Picture frontrunner right now. And I could go see it on the 21st.
Isn't Paul Dano leading that?
Yes. I could go see it on the 21st. It comes out the 23rd, but the problem is that it's limited. So like, I think it's already playing at Lincoln Square.
Probably. I'll probably pass.
But apparently, like, I'm talking like people are saying it's unbelievably great. So yeah, I'm interested in that one. I want to see it, but I don't know if I can drive to Dallas, and I doubt it will play here in my city. So that sucks.
Kenya, you're in timeout, sir. You were in timeout. All right, so that's going to do it for Out There in the World. Like I said, I got booty. We can talk about this real quick because Kenya brought it up. I said terrific because I didn't want to say the whole Mr. shit, but Kenya got on me on Twitter. Mr. Terrific has been teased. Is the latest to be teased by James Gunn in the future DC run. We got Lobo, now we got Terrific. So James Gunn is just giving us like, hey, get ready. What he's going to do, because apparently these fuckers have DC planned for the next 8 to 10 years, and they're pretty much almost done, which is really exciting to know. And they said it's not going to be centered around 4 Batmans and none of that shit. It's all going to be tons of fucking DC properties expanding the world, which I love, which I like. And yeah, so I'm interested to see who they're getting to play all these people. And if it's going to be like full form, it's going to be some animated, like it's going to be animated connections as well with like live action type stuff.
Yeah, good point.
So we shall see. I don't know.
What did you think about the character until you just brought it up? So I'm looking it up.
That's fair. Yeah, he had some shitty CW runs, appearances. It is all over like the Justice League show and shit.
Yeah, I see this. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
terrible. Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
Absolutely.
But what's his powers? What's he do?
I forget. He makes just like technology based. So it's like these black balls that he can like manipulate.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
It's like anything, and I think he's strong as shit. I'm not too into the character or familiar with him like that. I only saw him like on Justice League, the TV show. I was like, oh, cool. But I never went to invest in him. I'm sure Kenya can give us a little breakdown in like a second.
That'll work.
So yeah, Kenya, do your job. Fill it in.
Yeah.
Inform us about Mr. Terrific. Okay. So that's going to do it for Out There in this little globe. Well, little no more. It's fucking 8 billion strong. So it's not little anymore. But if there's anything you feel like we've missed, please let it be known in the live chat or the comment section below. We will do our best, as we like to keep the conversation going outside of the show. So let us know. Bars. Okay. We're going to start off on a bit of a sad note. I guess both of these are kind of sad and celebratory. But unfortunately, during this past, was it the weekend? Where are we?
Yeah,
it's Tuesday. The weekend, we lost a legend. We lost the true Dark Knight. Kevin Conroy passed away during a short battle with cancer, which I didn't know he had. But he passed away at 66, and our Batman is gone. and it sucks. Really hit hard when I find out because you just didn't really expect it. It was just
Yeah, you
so
weren't ready.
left field.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's just another, you know, I don't want to play the pun on words, but victim of the death hoax. Like, oh, he's dead.
Sure. Yeah, I
It's
can
like,
see that.
yeah, nope, he's really gone. Like, I was expecting like a tweet, like, hey guys, like, I'm good. Like, I'm
Yeah,
still,
no. I don't know
like,
why
I'm
they did
still
this,
here.
but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still very much alive. I'm like, he's gonna text in a while, tweet in a while, and it's all gonna be good. But nope, he really passed. As I'm sure many of you, he was literally my childhood. He was Batman. He is Batman. Every morning, you know, weekends, I'd go to school. I listened to him. He was, like I said, Batman is my number one, despite how, you know, I feel about T'Challa and all that. It's always been Batman since fucking birth.
Correct.
Like, Batman.
Your name is John Knight.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Correct.
it is. So yeah, man, how are you? How you feeling? How'd you take the news? How's everything?
I mean, it was one of those things. I mean, I think I was already awake when it came out. Had like just not for long, but I was up and I just saw, you know, somebody say like Kevin Conroy with like a sad face, like was one of my notifications, and I was like, there's no way. Clicked on it, did a quick search, and it was like 3 minutes ago that it was announced. And that, I mean, it's one of those things that just sucks massively.
Yeah.
Like, no one's expecting it. You know, I'm not going to necessarily say he's looked great the last few times I've seen him. Like 466, I feel like he has aged pretty hard.
Yeah.
Because I saw someone
now
said,
we
you know,
know why.
yeah, somebody said he's been sick for a long time, but then it sounds like maybe maybe he beat cancer once and it came back, or maybe I'm not really sure. But what it really is for him with me is just he's always been like so active in the community of like he embraces the fact that he's the voice of Batman, and he is Batman for so many people. And he's like, yeah, like I go out to the cons, I meet everyone I can. Hearing the stories of how nice he was to like every single person that's ever, you know, gone face to face with him. It just makes it suck more, but at the same time, like it's just like, yeah, that's who I knew him to be. So yeah, it really sucks. I saw like Akasan made a great post because similar to you, I mean, Batman is kind of that's his world, and then everything else, even though he loves it, is secondary. And yeah, I mean, it's really, really crazy that freaking Kevin Conroy is gone. Like, we'll never get a little cameo from that voice for anything again, and that's crazy to me. Yeah, for sure.
It's very wild, and not to mention we lost a icon in the gay community as well.
Yeah.
Because Varys did not know he was gay until like earlier on. I found out very recently. I was like, oh wow, he did not know that.
Yeah.
Until he did something for DC Comics regarding Batman.
Yeah, that
coming out
video. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, wow, okay. Because I know, and this could also just be, and this is not taken for fact or any type of anything, but I've seen speculations and stuff online and this and that. I never knew if anything was true that he was also diagnosed with HIV, and I didn't know if he was like, if that was a true thing or not.
I haven't seen that, but
I've seen that a few times, so I'm like, I don't know, because obviously he wasn't just jumping out saying, hey guys, I have, you know, it's a very private matter.
Right.
But I'd want to say, given, you know, his age and the time coming up during the crisis and being a gay man, it's not at that time, like in the 90s and all that, it's not so far-fetched if true. So that's why I was like, I wasn't like, oh, okay, I don't know. So if so, he was an advocate for a lot of things, is what I'm saying. For the most positive ways. But we definitely lost a great one for sure, and it's going to suck. Any other person voicing Batman good luck.
Right. I mean, he's always the go-to if you're doing anything that's not that's not live action.
Yeah.
You go to him.
Yeah.
And it really, really sucks, man. Like, because even though like I did not watch the actual show, but like I watched clips and I heard people talk about it, but like
insane.
It has always hurt my soul that when they let Kevin Conroy be a live action Batman, he's fucking evil. And I think that that's the worst decision ever. And I think he deserved better. Like, he deserved to get to be who he is. Yeah. And I'm sure he was very open and thought it was a cool idea. Like, oh, everyone will expect me to be the great one, you know, whatever. Yeah. And so like, that's why I did it. But like at the end of the day, it just wasn't done well. And, you know, CW bullshit over there. So yeah. He deserved better. And I'm sad that like, that's what he got. So I don't know. Crazy. But the Arkham games, obviously all the, you know, animated series, the movies, like everything that we've heard, we've got plenty of him forever, which is nice. Of course. But it's still
immortalized for sure.
Like, did you see the clip when during 9/11 when he was volunteering or whatever?
The voice.
And yeah, and somebody was like, "You're fucking Batman." And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Hey, everybody, Batman's making your food." And they're like, "Shut the fuck up. Like, prove it." And he says the lines, and they're like, "Holy fuck." Like, that's crazy. And I love that he like just tells the story straight up, you know, like he's about it. He does the voice, he does everything. Like, I had never seen that clip before, but that's the worst part.
Amazing.
Is when you lose somebody and then you get to see, oh, well, here's my favorite thing from that person. You're like, holy shit, that would be my favorite thing from that person. I wish I'd saw it, you know, while they were still living. So definitely sucks, but here we are.
It does, but rest in peace, Dark Knight. We love you. Thank you for all that you have given. And you shall not and will never be replaced, good sir. All right. So, I don't know did we talk about this last show? I put it on, but I don't know if we did.
What you got?
Mr. Wick.
No.
Trailer. That wasn't last show, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay, good. We got a new trailer, motherfuckers, and I'm so excited. It is John Wicketh. Yes, it is. They debuted Chapter 4 trailer last week, I believe, and it's even so much more glorified in IMAX theater. Dear Lord. They dropped the latest. I don't know if it's going to be the last, but they sure dropped it, showing John, you know, listen, you want your freedom? You got to take on Pennywise, motherfucker. That's the only way you gonna get out. That's essentially where it is. We got a lot of clips of him just being a badass with beautiful scenery, beautiful cinematography, as all the fucking John Wicks are, colorful, and the whole nine, and Keanu just whooping ass with Donnie Yen. I was like, dear God, him and Donnie Yen fighting, I'm going to need to wear 5 pairs of pants just so you can't see anything. Him and Hiroyuki Sanada fighting Donnie Yen. Oh my God. I'm not going to be able to handle myself. So I can't wait to see this movie. It's going to be badass. Did you watch the trailer? Well, you did. You saw
No.
Black Panther. What? They didn't have it on Black Panther? Oh, shit.
I mean, they might have. Oh, no, I saw Black Panther early with no trailers.
That's right. Okay.
And I didn't go see it again.
Well, all right. That makes me worried for what we're about to talk about.
I saw the trailer come out, and I said, "Oh, there it is."
Well, it's very badass and it's amazing. Stop being a hater and watch it, okay? Fuck off. Listen, it's great. But anywho, for those of you who know greatness, when you see it, it is amazing. Keanu looks like he lost a little weight. And then so I'm like, oh wow, cool.
Oh, wow.
Must be.
Well, if he's gonna try to keep that's the thing is I immediately think of if he's gonna go against Donnie Yen, he's actually slow as shit with his like action. Like he's very like he's fast, but like his movements are slow. And Donnie Yen will just fucking just like just absolutely punch him 1,000 times. So
it comes and goes. You definitely see that more in the third one. I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's a little slower.
That's correct. As they're
even though
making
he's
him
still
go up
doing all
20
his
flights
shit.
of stairs. God.
Like I said, even though he's, still doing his own stunts, he is in his 50s. So
Yeah.
obviously the quality of his movements have went down towards the films, but he still does his thing.
See, I kind of agree. Like Keanu hanging with Donnie Yen is Vin Diesel hanging with The Rock. Level shit. It doesn't work. But guess whose name is the title of the movie? So it's like
Absolutely. Well, at least our hero is bigger than him.
True.
At least.
True.
Fast and Furious, it was the complete opposite way.
Oh my god, yeah.
Opposite. It's like
They got Vin Diesel like breaking bridges.
Yes, absolutely. At least if Keanu like hugs this bear, hugs him like, I got you.
Yeah.
At least no.
Come here, you little bastard. If he says that line, I'll go see it.
Now. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, so, and I think, again, ironically, I think Donnie Yen is blind in this movie, I believe.
Really?
Yeah. At least the way he's moving.
Yeah.
In the trailer, it's not very like direct to the person. Like if he's shooting a gun, like he's shooting like over here and shit. Like he's looking this way, but he's shooting this way, and he's like always fighting to the side. So I think it's all he's feeling for shit. So I think he's blind.
Cool.
So maybe it's a crossover. This is before his Rogue One character got into this shit. This was his life before.
A little Daredevil action in John Wick.
Absolutely. What does he say? I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. All right. So go check that out. Watch that trailer, Logan. Something fucking crazy. All right. Whatever. Fuck off. So now, the piece of resistance. So short show, but a lot to talk about with this.
Yeah, I think this will be a segment and a half here.
Yes, it will. So if you made it this far, as it's only 30 minutes, be sure again, subscribe, like, notification. Appreciate you.
Do it.
And that's also true, Kenya, for Constantine too. Yeah.
Now I gotta watch that for sure. Never seen that shit.
It's really fucking good. It's fun as shit. It's a guilty pleasure movie. It's not horrible by any means, but it's really fun.
Okay.
All right. The time is finally here. The Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, has finally dropped. And, of course, not going to give a complete play-by-play of the movie. We'll just go over it, give our thoughts, break it down to particular topics and subjects, and kind of work it from there to kind of keep it organized a little bit. But quick little synopsis, we just returned to Wakanda after the passing of T'Challa, which puts the nation and the world on a bit of a pause to find out what exactly is going to happen in terms of the mantle, the state of the world in terms of its ties with the United States. And because T'Challa exposed Wakanda to the world, that's deeming a lot of backlash and consequences due to the power of vibranium and the resources of vibranium, and was forced to bring out another nation we had no idea about in Talokan, with Namor at the center of it, and essentially saying, hey, you know what? In order for our nations to survive, let's join forces and take these motherfuckers out because they're already starting to come for us. And that's essentially what we got. Overall, before we get into details, I really love this movie. I thought it was great. I think it is a worthy successor to the first film. Obviously, I would still pick the first film, but this was definitely great. A lot of amazing performances, a lot of deep performances, which I loved. a lot of people going in. Nemo and Baku, definitely. Um, I love where the story was going. I love how they honored Chadwick in the best way that they possibly could in terms to fit both story and just reality of the situation. Um, the action was dope, and like I said, we'll get more into everything, but that's personally where I fit as a general whole. Is that I really love this movie, and I thought it was great. Um, what say you? And then we can probably break it down.
Yeah, I like the movie. I think it's good. I just think the movie's good. And for me, that was a disappointment because I wanted it to be great. The trailers made me think it was going to be great. But I think it's good. I feel bad for Ryan Coogler because I think he did the best that he could with the time that he had, with all those things in terms of writing it. It just feels like it was way too long. I feel like it drug a lot. And then at the end of the day, for me, the biggest problem is just Shuri is not a leading character, and Letitia Wright does her best. I'm not gonna that's what sucks is she kind of got forced to do, to step up, and she did her best, but she is she tries to give a deep emotional performance, but I'm never sold on her the entire time that if she's trying to be angry or if she's trying to cry or scream or anything, I'm just like, ooh, get to the next part, every single time. And I feel bad for that, because it's not her fault. She was cast to be a side character for a very long time, and she's now been forced to step up and be the lead in a monstrous franchise with huge stakes and huge things to live up to. So I can't blame her. I'm not upset with her, but it's a disappointing factor for sure. Namor's the standout, quite obviously.
Yeah.
In terms of a character, besides that, my favorite character in the whole movie is Queen Ramonda. She's the only one that has memorable lines at all.
Fucking
and the fact that they killed her is laughable. What a monstrous mistake on their part to get rid of that character and then forget about her in the end. But yeah, overall the movie's good, but it sucks because we were at that early screening and my whole row, the movie ended and everybody looked at each other, and I was like, I looked at the guy next to me and I was like, I didn't know him, but I was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, that's all right. And I was like, okay. And because Hannah and I were not feeling it. And so, but there was a guy that came in full, incredible cosplay. And, of course he was greatest movie of all time. And I'm like, you should say that because that's a $150 outfit there, whatever you're wearing. But I think it's good. I think that over time, I think it's got recency bias for sure. And I think once people allow themselves to look at it as a movie and not just as the Chadwick Boseman tribute, I think that we'll kind of see people temper their love for it. Because I've got some shit for just saying I didn't love it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. And people are like, wow, I see you're racist. And I'm like, okay, bud, that's great. That's where we're at. But yeah, I'm excited to go through it, through some moments, and we'll, kind of talk about the big ones.
Yeah. Okay. I did. Well, as I kind of did. I see I don't know. I obviously don't agree, but I'm not one to really argue because there are points, even though I think it's great and we'll get into them, I do have issues with the film. I think Ryan did a great job pulling in, and even though some of the decisions that were made I'm not a fan of, I see it service to the story, and I'm like, it serves to the story, and I get it. But where can I start with this? So we'll break down. Well, like I said, standout Namor. We'll start with him.
Yeah, for sure.
This motherfucker was great. Again, I take back what your name is, Tuck. Whoever plays him, I forget his name.
Tanakh or something like that.
Yeah, I apologize from the beginning to making fun of your ass. In the beginning, even though I had every right to, because you looked the part.
He was scrawny and like had like long hair in that picture, and we're like,
and all weird. He's all like, "Oh, our Namor." Yeah. I'm like, okay. He was fucking great. I understood his motivation. I understood his backstory. I understand why he was doing what he was doing. He was empathetic, sympathetic to the points that needed to be. I love the moment with him and Shuri where he takes her down to Talokan. I really love that.
That's one of my weakest parts of the whole movie.
Oh, I love it.
It's an absolute bore fest. It's like 15 minutes of just her going with the suit, just like floating around, and I don't know, man. God,
I love it.
I literally looked over and was like, "Are we still here?"
Absolutely, and I think this is where the movie would get divisive a bit with people, and it does play down to expectations, which is I get, but it's also kind of annoying. I think a lot of people will like go in expecting something different. Well, this isn't like an action first movie like at all.
Oh, that's exactly. That's the I did not want an action movie. Like,
right.
I wanted, a beautiful story that Ryan Coogler could make.
Right. And I think personally we got that, but if obviously people are entitled to how they feel. Mm-hmm. But I think, and I did see a lot of people thinking it was wanted to be that it is a very dialogue story, like emotion-based film. Yeah. And that's what leads first, as it should. So I was fine with that. So the quiet moments and the ones that we sit for a while, I was here for. But yes, so Namor, motherfucker, when he needed to fight, he was like, yeah, I'm fucking shit up. Him and his little winged feet flying around, fucking people up. Just toying M'Baku like, yo, word, homie? That's what you tried? Got it. The fight between him and Shuri at the end, I really dug, but we'll get into Shuri in a while, in a minute. Yeah, he was everything for me. He really killed it, and I'm really excited to see more of him in the future because I'm pretty sure we definitely will get it. Yes. At least we should. How did you feel?
Yeah, I like Namor is obviously the best part of the movie. I definitely think
Namor,
he could have been better for me. I think that he suffered the writing suffers a lot of ways for him, but he's obviously the standout, brand new character. They give him a lot of screen time. They give him, we get a lot of, just like, let's just sit there and let him talk for a long time. And they just kind of information dump, and you get that a lot in this movie. That's a complaint that I have, and it's just a struggle because it's got way too much going on, and they got to keep you up to date. And so you're kind of, you take it and it's all good. It's all, Marvel goodness. But yeah, I think he's great. I think he's a fucking absolute beast. Like, obviously he's the shit. And it was funny because like at the end of the day, when it comes to like the end, which we'll get to, but like I like the idea of like, oh, we're gonna use evolution and like use science to beat them, and but at the same time I hated realizing like if he was an Avenger 10 years prior, he would have died on Titan. Like if he had somehow made it to Titan and fought Thanos, there was no water and he's just dead.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
it's gonna diminish.
Even though he will fuck you up. And like no one in the MCU has anything on him right now. And it's like we just have to get him away from the water. And I wish that maybe the ship at the end would have crashed a little further from the water. where he couldn't just run over there, grab some, come back to the
Right.
like it was right there, man. But like they should have just gone out to the desert a little bit more.
He was fucked up. He couldn't just run like that. And
But like
if he had that other wing, he would just would have. He just would have flew right in that shit.
so that was my other question too, which we'll get into it. But like I literally said it when that movie ended. I said if Shuri, because Shuri ripped a wing off, and I said if he is injured forever now, I'm done with Marvel. Like
No, he's definitely gonna heal that back.
but like, can you grow that back? Like, because it's kind of dumb if you can.
Yeah, it's a genetic thing. It's just gonna come right back. Just heal yourself. It's probably just like a broken bone or like some shit.
No, that's the problem. If I rip your goddamn arm off,
I'm not a mutant.
how many powers does fucker have? That's the other thing.
I'm not a mutant. I can't do. And I love that they said that. By the way, I was like, "Yep, I'm a fucking mutant." I was like,
yeah,
"Yay,
that's correct. Got a mutation.
that's dope." Right.
But yeah, he's great. I definitely disagree when it comes to that final fight. I thought it was god awful. But he's great. For most of the movie, I'm definitely excited for whether it's, you know, I would love for Coogler to come and do a Namor movie.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for someone else to give him the stuff the time that he needs, because at the end of the day, a movie that was had so much going on, so much it needed to accomplish with the passing of Chadwick on top of that, it's kind of a disservice to bring that character in and kind of just, you know, like, oh, we got to make them all work. So like, we're just going to have just story dumps and get all that and like hope everybody loves him. And we do love him, but like, he's still like, imagine just that storyline of just a Namor movie. And he's like just going after like, I have to take out the land people. And you're like, holy fuck. And we're just following him. So like, I wish we could get more of him. And I hope we do, but we'll see for sure.
We will, especially what this movie sets up outside of Wakanda. And apparently
besides the fact that his little, you know, side piece lady is like, hey, you're a bitch. Like they're at the end, she's like, oh, I didn't know you'd get beat by, like, she's like, you want to go?
Been like, bitch, I will fuck you up. No
exactly. I know. Like the fact that she's like, you want to go fight the entire, you know, what do they call them? Like air breathers type of thing. Like she's like, you want to go to war
surface.
With, yeah, and she's like, and you can't even beat like the first person you fight. And he should have been like, listen here, you little bitch.
Right.
I'll cut your goddamn head off.
Your fucking life out of you, bro. Like, who are you talking to? But the first time I was like, all right, you're disappointed. I understand. So I'm gonna give you a pass right now.
Yeah.
You got to see the bigger picture, and we'll have opportunities ahead. But if you ever,
yeah,
that's what I would have been like. What's chopping my chop, well, bitch? All right.
Yeah.
No.
One of the funniest parts of the movie, though, because it has to do with him, is when he initially shows up to Ramonda and Shuri. And he starts talking about like vibranium, and she's like, "Vibranium's only in Wakanda." And Shuri's like, "Mother, he's covered in it." Yeah. And like, I will admit, this is nitpicky shit, but it's that next line of like another draft in the script where the writing should be smarter, and that is, this is Queen Ramonda, and she can't recognize vibranium. That's an issue. That's literally her whole life. Her entire life is based on that one piece of metal. And it's like, you just look at that and you're like, oh, it's just shiny shit. Like, you don't think he's talking about this shit for a reason? It's important to him? Like, you don't know this fucker, and he's telling you, he's calling it vibranium. He shouldn't even be calling it that. But
the world knows. That's nitpicky for sure. But I do get it.
But like,
I do get it.
He doesn't go up there. Like, they don't talk.
They still know what's going on in the world. Just like when Baku said, just because we're up here don't
watching TV,
books, motherfucker, or just society. He knows.
Yeah,
he has to know. Yeah, his fucking entrance was, oh god. I was like, you badass motherfucker. And I love that everything he says, like, it's an impact and a statement. It's like Thanos to me. Like when he speaks, like you pay
do
attention,
not.
like you feel it. No, absolutely. When they speak, that gravitas and command of
See,
presence, absolutely.
I will disagree with that. Like, because at the end, like
Hell no.
I think the actor did great, but just the mere fact that he has a very, like, he has a voice like mine, like it's a higher tone, where he's like, Talokan will destroy this whole planet.
Oh, I love that.
And
that's the calmness of it.
And that's the thing. But then you have Thanos that's like, none of you stand a chance. And he's like super deep. And he's like, child.
That's
know, like,
fine. See, I expect that motherfucker. That's for the calm ones.
That's what I mean. But like, if
And
you
then-
want to compare those, I'll just turn this shit off right now.
That is
like-
absolutely comparison. I said when he speaks, you fucking feel it. I'm not
And
talking
I
about tone
disagree.
and voice.
Like
That's
literally,
insane.
the only person in this movie that has more than 3 lines that are worth remembering is Queen Ramonda. That's period. Absolute straight facts.
That is inaccurate. But she's the most.
Say 3
Absolutely.
lines.
But that's inaccurate. of who?
Namor.
Namor. The beginning, when he introduced his fucking name, that was dope as shit. I fucking love that shit. And then
That doesn't follow your fucking point at all, but go ahead.
it doesn't. That's like,
But
motherfucker, my name.
My point once again is you don't remember the quote, but
Oh, my PP called my PP.
oh my god.
My people call me the Cuckoo Khan, but my enemies call me fucking Namor. That shit was badass.
Yeah.
I
liked the I wish that they had maybe had everyone call him, because it's a play on it's a play on Amor, and he's Namor because he has no love.
Yeah.
And then sure he's like, oh, Namor. And it's like, bitch, you like you're gonna act like a colonizer? Like, fucking pronounce my name right. Like,
yeah.
and no one called him his name right the whole movie. I felt bad for his ass, but it's just
that's also very true. Namor. Because I have no love for the surface world.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, that's fucking great. But that was funny. I did like his line. I did like his line of comedy he did with Shuri before bringing it down. It's like, well, you can't go down there like that. Like, you'll get hypothermia almost fucking instantly. Your blood will become toxic, and your bones will crush almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
Or you can wear a suit. We have some here. I was like, that's fucking great. So let's. Oh God, you people have hard times listening. What was I gonna say? Oh, that the introduction to the Talokans on that ship was creepy as fuck, but badass. The little singing hypnosis shit. I like the aura of that.
That was an interesting addition.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's from the comics or not, but like they're making the sound, they're singing, and then all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, they're mind controlling these fucking like.
Right. Like, I thought it was part of the soundtrack. I was like, oh, it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's them.
it was the beginning of realizing Wakanda should stand no chance. Period.
And that's what he said. He's like, you cannot win a war.
Yeah.
Against Talokan.
And I mean, it's proven in the end, legitimately, but it's just funny how they can just start singing and make you fucking kill yourself. So
I
might want to
soldiers than this place has blades of grass. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, homie.
Fish, man, they be
got it.
They be birthing eggs, 1,000 eggs, and just
right.
Yeah, you remember Finding Nemo?
Facts, absolutely. I was like, God damn, these people are savages, bro. But it was dope. I love their culture integrated. I love the backstory. I love him. I love the people. I thought that was really good. And to see the two parallels of the cultures was nice.
I liked the details of how everyone but him, because of his mutation, but if they're out of the water, they're blue.
Mm-hmm.
But then if they get in the water, they look like him.
Yeah.
Their skin goes normal. I was like, that's a cool, obviously it makes them stand out like a sore thumb. Like, they can't be spies.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
hey, is she blue?
Yeah, they're like, hey, what the fuck? But they don't have to be spies. It's like, that's what's nice is like they're powerful enough to absolutely. Their water bombs are like,
those water bombs were
crazy powerful.
Good God.
Yeah. So definitely dope.
It's like, oh, okay, heard it.
Okay.
Right. So let's talk about the standout, the most quotable one, as you like to say. Ramond. Dear God, Angela fucking Bassett.
Yeah.
Holy shit. She did not come to fuck around in this movie. Like, I expected her to be a centerpiece just by the trailers, but I was like, holy shit. Did not expect all of that. Her regalness, her love, she did something I did not expect her to fucking bring up. When she had Okoye in that goddamn throne room, and she was like, bitch, I was behind you when your ass and everybody else ran to fucking Killmonger as I was begging the Jabari for help, bitch.
Yeah.
And now I am done. I was like, oh. I was like, oh my God. And yes, Angela Bassett is swole as shit.
She's
her
fucking
fine ass in all angles. I was like, good God. Yeah, that throne room, that theater was silent.
Yeah.
The minute she started speaking, where is her treacherous husband now? But with so much she can go, but mine is with the ancestors. I was like, oh my God, I am queen. I was like, you better fucking.
She's like, have I not given everything?
Have I not given everything? I was like, ah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you fucking have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you have. And I love you, dear God. And in the beginning, just everything. She was like, listen, y'all up here coming for me. We're just worried about y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With the French soldiers and all that shit, like, she just had that power. Like, she was exactly what I wanted her to be in this movie. Like, there were people that were saying, like, in my comments, they were like, oh, she's in the suit at the end of the trailer. And I'm like, look. I'm like, just because she was a warrior in the What If episode, and it was fucking great, where they had Queen Ramonda do, whatever, it was great. But I said her role in this one is going to be bars, power, and like, she is Wakanda now. Like, she has to put, even though she's obviously in massive amounts of pain, she's mourning, all these things, she has to be the stone wall that keeps that place alive. And she was exactly that. It was just powerful. Just I loved it to death. No one said shit to her.
Yeah.
Like they knew better. And it was fantastic. Like, she absolutely killed it. It was so great.
She really did. Oh yeah, that's what we said. We hear the whispers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was like, yes. I don't think they can find Vibranium outside of Wakanda. I wish you the best of luck. I was like, you fucking go ahead. Oh, she was so amazing.
Yeah.
But yes, and then when she was like, in terms of the invaders or whatever the fuck that tried to get one of their research stations, and she stood up, and all of them came out, and that music stopped. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, chills. My body. Yeah. So, what are my negatives? And Kenny brought this up, and it doesn't make any sense because it's complete within the character to sacrifice the greater good for what she does. That's literally part of the people. But the death of her was just boom. Here we are, dead, funeral. I wish we could sit in that a little more, but also it was very, very abrupt for me. I was like, oh shit, she's dead. Like,
yeah, that exactly is like, they fucking just killed her. Like, it was like, wow.
I thought it was gonna do the fake out and then she'd come back. But I was like, no, she sacrificed herself, for the future, for Riri, for an innocent child. And I was like, I get it, but I did not expect. It just happened. I was like, fuck. And then boom, next scene, all white. I'm like, oh, okay.
That was scene, literally, I heard the whole theater go, whoa, like a question. It's like, all of a sudden, it's just Shuri back in white, and everybody was like, that just happened? Like, it was interesting. It was so abrupt.
It was. And that sucked, because I did not expect her to die in this
Right.
film. That was the very, very last. I get it in what it serves for the story, and most importantly, Shuri. I get it,
See,
but
I actually think it's the one big piece from the original script. Like,
yeah,
she is the one character legitimately. Like, there's a reason why she drops bars the whole fucking time, and it's because I feel like, you know, whatever Wakanda Forever was before Chadwick passes, I feel like that was on, you know, past 6 of a script for fucking Coogler, and then he has to write a whole new movie. But she kept her thing, and she passes. Like, imagine if Chadwick was alive in this movie, and the Queen gets killed by Namor. You get to see him go see Killmonger, and like, he would be the one that has to find that light again because you just took my mother. Like, oh. And that's like, she's the best part of this movie for me, because I think it's been carried over from whatever that original movie was.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something, and I do want to bring that up a little later.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, no, sorry.
But yeah. But yeah, no, she was amazing, and I just really, it sucks that happened, but I think it is something that was there from the jump, for sure. We have them. I do agree with Kenya, more M'Baku, but even though we did get him, the parts that we did was great. He doesn't have one, Andy.
Oh, sorry.
He has the Agent Ross shades. That's what he has.
Oh, sure. God, we gotta talk about negative when it comes to that. His fucking they were married. Fucking Agent Ross is it.
I knew that before. They mentioned that at some point before him and Val were married. Yes, M'Baku, not enough, but when he did, he was great. Bald-headed demon. Yo.
Oh my god, that was fucking savage, man.
I was dying. The whole theater. Oh my god. Bro, the first opening night experience for this movie was absolutely fucking amazing and astonishing. Yeah. Even the second, the third one, and we'll get into it because it's really hilarious and there's a huge difference.
Weird.
And there's a huge difference. But yeah, M'Baku was great. The Fishman. He was more just to kind of be an aid and consult in this movie, as he does literally say. But I do want more of him action-wise. But he sure did take that fucking punch from Namor, though.
I was like, oh, when that punch was happening, I was like, oh, they're gonna kill him. And like, I was like, he kind of could be a throwaway, and then have all the Jabari have to come into Wakanda. I was like, I could see that.
Oh no, M'Baku's strong as fuck.
Well, not compared to Namor's ass.
Oh yeah, no.
Namor could punch straight through him if you wanted to.
Yeah, but no, enough to take that kind of punch. And that's why coming back, even though I was like, this was kind of funny, but even though that was why they did the fucking arm wrestle test when Shrey became Black Panther, was because he is like the. So I was like, okay, I get why they're doing this, but I was like, this is funny.
That was awful. She just lands and he's like, no words.
He's like, all right, you son of a bitch.
Because like at the same time, it's like after the conversation that he had just had with her at the funeral of her mother, like, do you think he's not? Do you really think he would just be like, oh, yeah, fuck you, bitch? Just beat her ass. like he's like, you ain't got shit on me still, bitch. Right. Like, no, he's gonna lose that.
Everybody go help you, homie.
Like, she could have just went and put a suit on and not had the herb, and he would have been like, oh, she kicked my ass. Like,
you've become so strong. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Good to see you back.
But yeah, that was also funny. Speaking of ooh, anytime they do that gorilla chant, it's just hilarious. He's like, oh, like you could have done better. Oh. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But no, he was great. He never phones it in when it comes to M'Baku. I wish I had more. Riri, she's a new addition that we have to this film, and we thought she was going to be introduced because maybe she's part of the new like Wakandan outreach program,
Right.
and that's why she was there. It's like, no, she built this shit for class. The CIA was like, I want this shit, and Wakanda's like, yeah, bitch, you got to come with us. You did some shit. Let's go.
Right. You're about to get murdered.
Yeah, you need to come with us right now.
Yeah.
I really loved Riri. I'm curious to see where she goes from here. Her show intrigues me now.
Yeah.
I thought that the actress did great. She was very funny.
Mhm.
She was. It's funny. This being a black film, she was the blackest thing in that
That's
entire
right.
movie.
She was us. She was the audience.
She surely
time.
was, bro. It's like, no, you don't do that. That's some villain shit right there.
Yeah.
Or she say princess. Who was the second one that she said? I forget. She's like, that white chick from Indiana Jones. I was like, yo, she's fucking stupid. But no, I love that immediately you saw her intelligence. You see what she was capable of. And just at the same time, but she's also a kid.
Yeah.
Which I really, really loved. And she's like, listen, I know I did some shit. Like, let me help. It's the least I can do for let them pay for my mistakes, which it was a growth moment. I hope in the show, I want to see how the inspiration from Tony and why. Because obviously they didn't give that in this, but sure is like, is this fucking Stark Tech? Like, what the fuck is this?
Correct.
But I loved her. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely liked her a lot. I loved her up until she got the suit at the end. Once she's in that suit, I mean, it looked so bad. But her as a character, we'll talk about what the once again third act VFX being hot garbage.
I don't see, y'all are wild. Compared to the first one, you don't say that's...
No, I'm not saying it's compared to the first one, but I'm 100% saying it's an issue. It looks horrible.
I don't think so.
The first Black Panther's that third act is the worst thing Marvel's ever done VFX wise.
Pretty bad.
Legitimately, I mean, nobody can argue that. I mean, it is awful. But this one,
to say horrible, that's wild.
No, it's
wild.
Most definitely not. I think almost everybody in this chat, even that loves it, would say, I mean, it looks pretty bad at points. But anyway, Riri, I think, is great. She is the audience. You know, I definitely think that's the case, and that's what they utilized her for as the comedic relief. I think she's almost along for the ride a little too much. Like the fact that she goes down like to the caves of Talokan and she's just like, Shuri just leaves her ass. And it's like, oh my God. Like, it's
they promised not to hurt her. So she was like, I'm keeping...
But it's also like, she has a choice. Like, they just take Shuri down in their own suit and they just say like, oh, by the way, dink, and just crushes her fucking ass. Like, thanks for hanging out.
Well, then war happens and good luck.
Atlantis absolutely fucks them up. I mean, Atlantis takes over the world. It's not that hard after Shuri's gone. But yeah, Riri's great. I liked her a lot.
That is very true, Kenya.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about
the braid indentions. I was like, really?
Well, no, we'll talk about a different suit that had hair. That.
Oh, the comic suits. Yeah.
Oh my God, literally the worst thing Marvel's ever done in terms of a design.
Cool.
But Riri's great.
Ripped it from the thing.
Ripped it from Predator.
Oh, yeah. It's my dad.
Oh wow, where'd you get that necklace? Oh,
well, hello, father.
Wakanda.
Right, Wakanda. You didn't know? I took a trip last year. Sorry. But yeah. What did I say? You threw me off. You said a blasphemous comment and it threw me off.
What, talking about those suits?
Oh yeah, Wrestling Marvels of a Den. Jesus Christ, they just ripped it from the comics. That is it.
It's the worst thing ever.
It's not the worst thing fucking ever, but it's not the greatest thing ever either.
No, it's the worst. So literally,
fucking not dramatic ass.
What design's worse than that?
Most ugly.
so legitimate. So Kenya's texting me, And he's like, I liked it more than the first. And I'm already like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's immediately no.
But I said, hey, how are you? I said, what about, because he was like saying like, I liked the design of this and I like that. And I said, what about Predator? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, Okoye's Predator suit. And he was
Midnight
like,
Angels.
And he was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. He's like, yeah, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was like, damn. He's like, I'd forgot about that. He's like, yeah, no, that really is bad. And I mean, it really is the worst thing I've ever seen. And not to mention the fact that you cannot, they even make a joke, like when Baco makes the joke about like, he bald-headed demon. You cannot give a bald woman hair in her suit. That's the most disrespectful
It's more
shit.
ceremonial types, not hair. It's just.
But also, you cannot, if you're gonna make it the nanotech, when she takes the helmet off,
and it's just here.
you don't get to give her the fucking, like, what's the best friend in Seinfeld? Like, where his hair just like, it's like, what the fuck is this shit that she's now? Not only did you give a bald woman dreads in a suit, but now that's all she's got. Like, you gave her a booty.
I will say
of dreads.
That shit, that part, I was
laughably
like,
bad.
Ooh.
I mean,
it just comes like, and it's just this here. I'm like,
malfunction.
Yeah,
It stopped halfway. Like, she should be complaining about this. Like,
all of it should have just came off. Like, that was just too much.
Exactly. Like,
that was too much.
But
that was
also
too much.
What I think is so funny is the whole movie. Okoye is like, that's the ugliest suit I've ever seen. I'm never doing that. We're not doing it. It's terrible. We're never doing it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, hey, we need you to get in this. And she's like, I'll do it. But I hate it.
Full
and then, but like, it's the worst thing ever. Like, they even talk about it in the movie. Like, it's actually the ugliest design ever made. Like, it's got eye holes that are like normal. Like, you're like,
it's not the best. It's not great. It is not.
But
I get they were trying to do, the comic accurate. I get it. I would have tried to switch it up a little bit and still called it, the Midnight Angels, whatever. But I think for those who aren't knowledgeable of the comics would have been like, what the fuck is that? I mean, they still are.
Yeah, no,
they still are. But this is a higher chance of knowing, oh shit, those are the Midnight Angels, yada yada yada, which are a big part of the comics. But I get it. But no, it wasn't great.
At the end of the day, because also adding which I'm not gonna say she did a bad job or anything, but the new Dora that we got that kind of got a lot of screen time. The one that started with the blades at the beginning.
Yeah, Nico.
She was good, but like, if I cut her out of that,
lesbian love,
or like just gave her a suit like that, but like Okoye should have been a fucking like semi Panther. Like, she, like, even if you weren't gonna give her the herb, give her the suit, because like that was the thing too, is so when Ramonda took her rank away, and said she's not a Dora, I was like, holy shit, she can be a Panther now, because she's not like it's kind of a oath thing to be, even though she's like, I will give my life to get her back, all these things, and she's like, no, out, and then she dies, and it's like, I think it would have been really special if they were like, hey, we have to change things up because we're gonna die, we need multiple, because I don't know, I think it could have been dope to have at least two. I don't know. Like,
no,
story-wise.
I agree. And I even still would have preferred Okoye as the Panther.
Yeah, correct.
But okay, we spoke Riri. We just touched on Okoye. She was still badass, amazing. Everything had a lot of great comedic moments. 3 of them together in MIT was great. It is the wrong shade, isn't it? I knew it. I was like, that's hilarious. But her scene on the bridge, I was like,
yeah,
dope.
Right.
take another step closer. I was like, you whooped that ass, Okoye.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Even though she's getting her ass beat, but like I liked how she was not
Well, the
backing
big fucker
down.
was not. Yeah, the big fucker was not to be fucked around with.
That's right. But I love, like, that's what I like. Okoye is such a great character.
She still held her own though, even though she got.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she's legit as fuck. And even if like she has, there's a point that she's like, oh, I'm fucked, but I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Like this is my duty. This is what I have to do, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not afraid, but I am fucked. Yeah. And I loved it because that's some real shit right there. And so Okoye is phenomenal.
Let me just pop this shit back in place, and then all right, let's go. Let's do this. I was like, oh shit, okay. But she took out 3 of them like easy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
But then it was like, yeah, we don't die that easy. It's like, what? Okay. But that big fucker, what was his name? Namora? Not Namora. Nakora? Something. I
don't know.
No, Namora was the girl.
Yeah.
And I forget his name. But yeah, he was like, here, take your weapon. The shit ain't over.
I know that. Yeah, that was savage on his part. He was like, actually, I like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
Absolutely. Come on. What you got?
Yeah.
It was dope to see. Like I said, the whole scene got a lot of good crowd please. The Ironheart Mark I reveal did as well, and her whole scene in that got a lot of people going. It was just great, and that was the first introduction to the water bomb we got, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah. When they fucked them both up, and it's like that slow mo. I was like, wow, this is going to suck. I hope you got something to save that landing, homie.
Yeah.
Because if not, that's a wrap.
That was it was kind of annoying that Riri was just like face down the whole rest of that scene.
Oh yeah, because she fucking got.
And she got ate up. I mean, she got fucked. But like at the same time, like I was like, golly, like she should be like crying and like something. But like she's just like she's just a body. It's like good to know that her suit protects her 0. Like maybe don't build a flying suit if you can't like land hard.
True. Like I said, I don't think she was able to. She was still working on this shit. She was like, this is still bare. So it's like, well, now you know, bitch, protect your face.
Yeah.
Because that shit went plant. Okay, now your boy, Mr. Agent Ross.
Ugh. He was fine, actually.
He was fine. There was no problem with him at all.
Yeah.
I liked him. I still like that he's still involved. He was still their way into,
and I like how he's a fucking real one. Like he's a diehard. Like he's like, sure, he saved my life. I'm gonna do whatever she needs, even if I get thrown in jail. Doesn't matter. Like I dug that. But continue. Sorry.
And now it explains why he's on the run in Secret Invasion, which I'm like, all right, cool, got it. Nice tie in there. And of course, through him, we see that which I did not expect this motherfucker to be in here. Val, she was in this. But it makes sense because given what they're saying, Thunderbolts and Captain America, which is going to be in both, are going to be centered around. And now that we know that Ross is the president, it makes sense to know that, hey, president wants to take action against Wakanda. And now Val being the right hand there and wanting the same fucking thing. And I think there's going to be center focus is the Vibranium War for those 2 films. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And then we're going to see a Harrison Ford Red Hulk trying to fight Wakandans and Talokans. But we'll see.
Nervous about that.
Right. Right. That's very true. Kenya. Because you know how we do against water, bro? We're not the best in water.
That's not fair. I did hate that, like, y'all had to drown Queen Ramonda. Like,
I'm telling you. Like I said, Kenya brought that shit up from day one, bro. Like, you defeating black people with water. That's fucked up. Which, like, that, and that's the thing is, like, I shouldn't be allowed to say that, but, like, that's the thing is, if I'm calling it out, we all know our weaknesses and stereotypes.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, can you swim?
Not really.
Really?
On top of the water, I can, but if I go underwater, I'm dead. Unless I have like some goggles, like some like mouth shit, I'm fucking dead.
Can't hold your breath?
Not that great. It freaks me the fuck out. I don't know why.
Oh no,
get all
yeah, no,
panicky and shit. I can't do it.
sure, that's fine.
I
Okay,
need
good.
I need training. I need training.
Yeah.
She is not new General Ross because General Ross exists, and he is the president now.
Well, no, but he's just saying like she's the new high up, like she's gonna come in and
No,
disrupt.
she's a fucking Bizarro Fury. That's what she is. More than
That's
anything,
true.
like
Yeah, you could say that.
she's Bizarro Fury, not Ross.
Well, she is. She's putting the Thunderbolts together. I mean, there's a reason why he's saying that.
Yeah, I guess that's also true.
I mean, she's definitely filling in for Ross while Ross has moved his way up.
It's stupid though. So yeah, I put up with her in. She was fine in Falcon the Winter Soldier. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then we got her in the end of Black Widow. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then this, I'm just like, yeah, you're gonna ignore me, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah, she's annoyed me from the fucking
Yeah.
jump. She,
like,
which
you're
I
gonna
think
know
that's
me,
the
huh?
point. I 100% think that that's the point. But, oh my God, are they going all in on this woman or what?
They are.
I mean, that's the struggle of when you have, when you film 5 projects before the first one comes out, and it's like, oh shit, it's too late to change anything, now. And so, I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I already look forward to the day we get to watch her die somehow. Great.
Maybe she dies in what comes first, Cap or Thunder?
Ooh, Captain America, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you might be right. So maybe she'll die in Thunderbolts. Wish the more and more. I'm just not as excited for this because
I'm not excited for that at all.
The team is so stupid.
If they have anything to do with vibranium, they're dead. Like it takes 5 minutes to take them out. Like, and guess what? The Avengers, not much longer it would take. I mean, like Captain America, if he wants to go fuck with vibranium, he's dead. Like, it's not like I'm just talking straight about just them, but like,
yeah,
it's just the way it goes, man.
It's just a stupid ass team. And just even knowing, and especially knowing, which I'm hoping there's some kind of arc. It shouldn't be even a fucking arc for this man because he already had one. That Bucky's a part of this, and knowing they're trying to go in fucking war with Wakanda.
Yeah,
you have Bucky there.
He's got an arm from them.
They healed him. Like, why? Why is Bucky here? So I'm hoping, like at the beginning, it's like we're in fucking, I don't know, the coast of somewhere, and they're doing a mission, and then he sees a file of what Val wants, and it's like, yeah, and all Wakandans. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he splits from there. I'll be fine. Out. He's like, okay, I'm dedicated to taking you motherfuckers out. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. But anywho, I digress. So I think we went through everybody. Okay, the woman of the hour, Shuri. Now, for me personally, I don't agree with what you're saying in terms of her performance. I did feel it. There was some I didn't. I was like, okay, I get where you're going. I'm not getting the emotional response I should, but I get it. I think. Okay, I'll get into it. So the beginning half, everything before Panther with her, I'm here for. Loved it. I completely understand the road she was on, the arc she was on, why she's mad, why is this, all essential to her. I get it, got it, great. Her performance when she loses the Queen, loved it, felt it, good. I felt her grief to the film, loved it, felt it, good. I mentioned this several times before the movie came out. I don't need to focus on it, but I need an inkling to know that during this time, even if you showed me 2 seconds of her in a fucking forest somewhere, that bitch, I've been training. The loss of my brother, I want to step my shit up, do whatever it may be, and be ready because I know how to fight other than just shoot Sonic shit out of my hands.
Correct.
In order for me to believe that she is whooping all wholesale ass as Panther at the end, if they choose to make her a solo one, or if they even go with her.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, she is the Panther. Spoiler alert, she did not train. And spoiler alert, minute she popped that fucking suit and herb on, she is just all sort of just the badass, kicking, dodging, punching, flipping, everything. I was like, oh, okay. We're here now.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of annoying. I'm like, oh, okay, but we need to move with the story. Fine. You mentioned it. I do not think, in terms of action hero leading the Panther, I do not think, at least yet, she is strong enough to. At least yet, because for me, okay, and you mentioned this as well. I felt, even though this was an honor to him, you feel Chadwick's presence lost completely throughout the whole thing.
Sure.
You feel it. It's like, damn, this definitely should have been him.
Yeah,
should have been him. And a part of me, even on, as many times as I've seen it, and I keep trying every time to believe and get behind Shuri as the Panther, her switch, all that. It's going to take me a lot of time to do that. Because she didn't just win me over the minute she became a Panther. It wasn't like, okay, cool, we got it.
Yeah.
The introduction of her in Jabariland was cool. Goosebumps felt it because another Panther being, that's a moment, cool. But just something just wasn't sitting right. And like just her trying to lead a charge and doing all this, I'm like, I just don't feel it.
Right. Because she's not a general. She has none of that. Her mom was just doing
regalness to her. There's no.
She has no experience with this.
She does.
It's hard to immediately get sold on that.
There's no command. There's no commanding presence about her. There's no regalness. There's no. I believe you're about to lead us to like fucking war. Like I'm willing to fight with you. Like I don't see that. I see a Panther born out of rage, which is all again the point. That's all the point.
Right.
Outside of how I see her. You have a Panther born out of rage. You have a Panther born out of vengeance, which I love. And I love that we got our boy back specifically for that. I was like, this is very smart. I like this. Didn't come back as a Panther as many people would think or do whatever. But I think he served a much important role, and I like the fact that was hidden. Like, yo, who did you see, bro? I was like, yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you. And this is something that I love. The film plays a lot of parallels to the first, has a lot of callbacks that work for the progression of this story, which I love, and they're very subtle and they're very small. When it comes to Shuri, when it comes to T'Challa, when it comes to preparation, when it comes to line shots and everything, I love how the movie did that. But how'd you feel on Shuri, given all of that? That's my two feelings.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she's good. Like, right. I really do. I mean, she's good. As a lead, that is a massive problem for me. Like, the fact that she's just good, because the whole movie literally is on her tiny little shoulders, and it's tough.
That would be lovely, Kenya, if we didn't see her get her ass whooped twice in the span of a few movies, not knowing how to fight, besides shooting good things.
Yeah.
But sure, carry on.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like,
she's tech, not
so. And
any of
this
that.
is the other thing too. So I'll come back to what you just asked me, but Kenya is stuck on the fact that he thinks they're going to take Panther away from her, and they will not do that.
Yeah,
you cannot give the Black Panther to a young black woman and then take it from her and give it to a man. Like, it's not going to happen. He thinks she's the interim. She doesn't deserve it, but they needed it. All these things. No, you are writing the movie to make it better for you now. Yeah. She is Black Panther. Yeah. If they were doing anything the same, the whole reason why they cannot have her, do a real coronation at the end is because if they took it away from her, M'Baku would snap her spine and throw her off the fucking cliff. Like, that's one of the best scenes in the first Black Panther is they take the herb away, and that's how you fight. Like that's who gets to be king. Is you're by yourself, and it's like she can't do that. Like she has to have this herb, and so I mean, it's immediately like she feels like she doesn't deserve it in a lot of ways, like because that was such a big part of the first one, and obviously they didn't know this was going to happen, and they're trying to make it work, and they do. That's what I mean. This is not the worst movie ever. Like that's what I wish people would understand that. Like I don't hate this movie. I just never want to watch it again because it makes me sad that it's nowhere near as good as I wanted it to be. And like I've got a lot of issues with it. But anyway, when it comes to her, I think she's good. I like, even at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is interesting. When Ramonda asks her the questions and they're around that campfire and she's like, no, I want to watch the world burn. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Because even the way that she delivered that line, she sounds like a kid having a temper tantrum. And it's like, look, I know I took your phone away.
Yeah.
But like it didn't work for me. I was like, oh, if they try to make her angry, I hope they do this a little bit better. And it just never hit for me that she was like a rage-filled like we never got to see her. She immediately was just like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. And it's like, hey, I understand you've never been in a fight before. Like she looks like the kid down the street that hadn't got beat up yet. And it's like, everybody's got to get beat up one time, then you'll learn that you don't talk shit, and like this is just a thing.
She got beat up a few times,
and she also never learned. Like she's just like, oh no, we're gonna kill him. Like we're going to war right now. I don't care what everybody says, what they think is right. We're going to war. Line the fuck up. And it was like, this is not. It just never worked for me when it came to her. And
I don't know.
Like, and that's the thing is, it works more for you, and I fully get, like, you understand what I'm saying, and you care less, like, it works better for you slightly, and that's okay. Like, I understand that.
Right. But it's only because it drives for vengeance. Like, I get it. Like, some people, when it comes to loss, they are just angry. It's like, I just want everyone to fucking suffer, you know?
But, so, like she's the one that should have died, because she has nothing to back up the fact that she's walking around acting this way, and then the acting chops are not there to sell me on it to where it works. Like that's the whole thing, is like at the end of the day, I just have a problem with how they wrote this character. The actress playing the character doesn't work. If they were lucky enough to get, you know, if Nakia and Shuri's actresses were swapped, obviously it'd be a little weird that T'Challa was into this little scrawny thing. But my point is, she could pull this off. Like if they had made this whole movie about,
absolutely.
Like you know what I mean? So like that's what I'm saying. Like this movie would have been, I think, a lot better if Lupita was sure. Like if that was just the way things played out, is somehow we got lucky enough to have, you know, but we cast an unknown cute little, you know, tiny girl to play, you know, the princess of Wakanda.
Don't talk about her either.
Oh no, we'll get to her.
Yeah.
But Shuri's fine. She is. I struggle to get behind her as an actress, and the writing doesn't help because the writing is for someone who commands the screen, and she's not that, and so it's not her fault, and that's why I don't want to like sit here and just dog her. Because she literally, I bet you she had a real come to Jesus moment with Coogler, where he was like, look, yeah, your pay just tripled, but I'm going to need you to give something you've never given before. And I wouldn't doubt if they took her to acting classes again. I wouldn't doubt if they did like whatever they possibly could to say, we need to make you into a leading woman as fast as possible. And it just didn't work for me. But that's okay. And it was kind of just, that's what, when your lead actor passes away, this is what I expected this. Like that, I wanted it to be incredible, but like her performance for me is exactly what I expected. And so it just sucks that's, you know, I always go in with the worst thoughts, so I'm not disappointed. And I was still disappointed because I got exactly what I thought I'd get.
Oh, like I said, it worked for me until Panther, and that
and M'Baku is king. He's just not Black Panther. Like, I don't know why you keep being on that. Like, he already is king. That's the whole point of that fucking end of the movie. He's king. I don't, you missed that?
Yeah, and it works until, like I said, she gets into Panther. Everything drives, reason, motivation, everything.
Yeah.
The scenes needed to pull from emotionally, I got from her. But like I said, it was just something about the Panther. I was just like, I just can't get it here yet. And I don't want to be this person, but you know, she is a little thing. She is a very little thing. In terms of person, she's a very little person.
Yeah, correct.
So seeing in a suit, I'm just like, it's not hitting as hard because she is so little. Obviously doesn't mean she can't be strong, all the other shit. Nobody's saying that, but she's just so little. But I like the full circle her character came in terms of growth, overcoming vengeance, and again having mom beg, listen, show him who the fuck you are. This is not it. You're better than this. You know better. And that's why I say Hawkins back to all the parallels from the first, or just even T'Challa. I just loved, and we'll harken back to that when we talk about end credits and all that good stuff.
I do want to talk about Killmonger real quick, because that was a scene I hoped for. We got exactly what I expected to happen, and I was hoping to God that they did it, and they did it. And I really liked the execution of him. Like that, it still goes back to like Shuri in that scene. I just struggle with it because she's like, no, I didn't, and he's like, yeah, you wanted me. He's like, you get who you want, me, bro. Yeah, and he's like, and you know why, and like all those things, and I mean, it's that thing about, it's the thing about Letitia Wright is left behind in the acting chops in this whole movie. Every scene that she's in, she's being outperformed. Like, they should have said, hey, Michael, can you just maybe back it down a little bit? And he's like, no, I'm about to serve and give people, like, he's like, I'm about to absolutely murder this. And he does. And first of all, he looks fucking amazing, incredible, like
amazing. The whole fit, I was like, God damn.
I mean, like, he must be the easiest character in the world to fucking make look good, but like at this, like, because it is Michael B. Jordan, but like still came around that fucking throne, and I was like, God,
what's up, cousin?
Damn,
I was like,
man.
What the fuck, smooth ass motherfucker.
Yeah, and I still go ahead and get me on a hashtag of like, somehow bring his ass back in Secret Wars, like just reincarnate, get a multiverse, that shit, something. But he was Michael B. fucking like,
cowards.
I want a Hot Toys of that look.
Yeah,
has nothing to do with Black Panther. Like, he's just like, he just looks like, what's his name in Jobu? Like it's just what he is. Like, that's what he would look like if he stuck around. Like, and
Ndujaku is his name.
Oh, that's right.
Ndujaku was his dad.
Yeah, but and that's the thing too, is like, there were things that as soon as I saw that, I was like, fuck, man, like they could have done. He's been in the Ancestor plane for years. Like, he could have been talking to T'Challa's dad, and he could have been talking to his dad, and like maybe he's had a change of heart, and they somehow, bring his ass back, and like it would work. But like, it's obviously, that's a lot, and so it wouldn't. But
yeah, man,
like, just if that scene alone isn't enough to like, it's a phenomenal fucking character. Like, phenomenal.
You can tell, like, minute he's on screen, is like, yeah, we missed you, bro.
Yeah. And it's just a thing of like, obviously I fucking love Chadwick. He is Black Panther. But like, when they went to Ryan Coogler and said, hey, we want you to make Black Panther, and he was like, okay, cool, my boy Michael B. Jordan will be Black Panther. And they were like, we've actually already cast Black Panther. And it's this guy you've never fucked with, and he's kind of unknown. And he's like, oh God, okay, let's see what we got. Like, but Michael B will be the villain then. And they're like, oh fuck, I hope our guy's good, and he is. Like that's what I mean. Is Chadwick can fucking hold his own with Michael B. Jordan, even though have you ever seen a character with more charisma than Killmonger in the fucking Black Panther movie? Like, kind of
really great.
He's just walking around like fuck with me. Like he could just say that the whole movie. That's the only line he says. Like
His swag level is
like,
insane.
He's that guy that's like can't whoop me though. Like just over and over again. Like oh you don't like how I'm doing this.
One of those
whoop me?
Right, that annoying shit. I fucking hate people like that, bro.
Oh my god, I grew up with 1,000 of them.
Bro.
Like just like can't whoop me, and I'm like I'm not trying to fight you,
like,
but I am saying
fuck?
that you're being annoying as fuck.
Yeah, like grow the fuck out, bro. Like what you?
And
god damn.
And I already know Kenji's gonna start dropping names here in a second of all the people that would say that, but like yeah, and so he was great. I fucking loved that scene.
Amazing.
And yeah, like it was phenomenal. It was fucking.
T'Challa was too noble. I was like, oh
right.
Fuck. Your daddy would have killed that girl. I was like, oh shit. He's speaking facts though.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like y'all been playing games. He's like before y'all, Wakanda was very definite. Kill my dad. All this stuff. I mean, it's fucking real. I loved it. Oh fuck, man, it was so good.
It was a really great fucking scene.
And that's what I mean. Is like that's a part where I think it's possible that was going to be in the original, where somehow T'Challa needed to go back to the ancestral plane, and
oh no.
And
I don't know if that would have worked with T'Challa.
After his mom gets murdered?
To go to the ancestral, like die again to go to the...
Why does he need to die?
He's already Black Panther.
Well, like if something would have happened to get it taken away, or just hey, I need to go talk to my dad. Something like that to go. I need to go to the ancestral plane, or I want to go talk to my mom, and it's fucking Killmonger instead. Like...
Well, if anyone can figure it out, I'm sure it'd be Ryan could.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so it's like I feel like because I just see the possibilities of like if Chadwick's T'Challa was like Namor just came, I denied him, and he came and killed my mother, and I'm going to go to war, and I'm going to kill him, and then they're like, you need to go talk to the ancestors, go talk, like whatever it is, and then he goes and it's like, sup cousin, and it's like, oh fuck. Like he's like, no, you're gonna fucking do this. Like
I could, and that's why I wish I didn't have to feel that, but I feel Chadwick all through. Like I wanted to be Chadwick.
I know,
because this shit, oh my, just the scenes, everything going on, if it would have been him, just him and Namor squaring off at the end, oh my god,
it would have been it's the biggest I mean, we got it taken from us, man. Like it sucks. It's awful, but it's just the way it goes. And that's why, like, at the end of the day, like, I give this movie a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Like, it's a good movie, but like at the end, like Black Panther for me is like a 9 or higher.
Right.
And I mean, but like if you just said it, like, hey, the script of Black Panther, like the dialogue of Black Panther 1 is a 10 out of 10. It's the best Marvel's ever done. Yeah. And so like, I'm just facts. If you compare them, it's tough for me. But I get that we got the best that we could do. I mean, that's just the way it is.
It's the reality of the situation, and it's like
sucks, but
it does suck. It's obviously it's not surpassing the first one for me, just absolutely not.
Of course.
But I do think it is a worthy successor for what they could do. Got it done. Right. I think they achieved, and they hit it out. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see where Shuri goes from here, and how it happens until they give the mantle back to T'Challa.
Do you think they're doing that?
Talk about. I don't think so. Unless we get a time jump. It depends on how long fucking Marvel's going for. Sure. The MCU is going for. I think it's a beautiful setup to do that.
But even with what Nakia says, with like why he's in Haiti,
right? But that'll change. That's just him as a kid. Not up for now. It'll change. Right. But speaking of, let's talk about Nakia. Who doesn't have a lot, but arguably the most important
Yeah,
for
correct.
setup in the future. Because I was thinking about that, I was like, for somebody so close to T'Challa, we're not really getting a lot of her. And then when you realize why, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But the shit that when she is here, she literally holds two of the most crucial parts of the fucking film. She goes to save the princess's ass,
Yep.
and then she's bringing in the new era of fucking the Black Panther. Let's see. Sounds like it's great to me. But no, she was great as always. She she has a little thing going on in Haiti with all the kids. And once you find out who that little kid is at first, it's the first one to greet Ramonda and the first one to run to her like, hey, what's going on? You understand why? I'm like, oh, you slide devil, you.
Ramonda just don't give a fuck.
And Ramonda was just like, and that's what she was gonna tell Shuri by the river. She's like, Shuri, I got some shit to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck were you gonna say? We'll find out. But anyway, War Dog Dakia, recruited by Ramonda, was like, listen, you infiltrated nations fucking in your sleep. I need you to go save this girl. And she's ready at the beck and call. She goes, whoops ass. She was like, listen, you got 2 seconds. I'm trying to help you out here. Or you about to get gunned the fuck down. All right? Listen, you didn't want to listen, got fucked up and got him out of there.
Yeah.
I love her monologue or her conversation with Okoye. I love that. She's like, the Black Panther, the king. He was submitted to you, but for him, he was my fucking everything. My T'Challa. I was like, oh, my chest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. She was great because Lupita puts in emotion in her sleep.
Yeah.
And like
effortless.
The slightest little thing. It's just like, God damn.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But no, she was great. And at the end, we see what we do. She allows Shuri to come do her ritual, and then we get ushered into the new era of the king. She comes with a little boy who, great fucking job, whoever cast that little motherfucker.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if he's not a relative.
Bro, he's not, but that's the first thing I thought. Yeah. I was like, bro, because I know he has kids, but I was like, is this his actual son?
Yeah, no.
I was like, is he related? Because that's a spitting image. Even the way he talks, the mannerisms was all Chadwick.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck. She's like, I like yours too, I guess. I was like, whoa, this is very fucking Chadwick. But no, that end credit scene, man, that shit broke. I was like, good God. Like, even just with any type of a slight bit of bias, but just how it like, it's my favorite one. Like, it was just so beautifully done. Like, it was amazing. Another good theater experience. So when Shuri's doing her ritual and it plays that Chadwick thing,
right? My
whole theater, all you heard was sniffles, cries, and wetness in silence. That was just it. I was like, oh my God. And then that post-credit scene got a standing. Like, everyone was up and just clapping after it ended.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with that. And with the Chadwick, dedicated to our friend Chadwick as well. That's when everything just, exploded. But I love that. I want everyone now, and I was being a troll when this happened. I'm like, now y'all can shut the fuck up with this goddamn recast T'Challa shit. Now you have your fucking T'Challa for the future. Shut the fuck up. Have fun. Be quiet.
I think you're completely wrong on that. I don't think they'll ever do anything with him.
Maybe I am, but at least you got it. T'Challa exists. Shut up.
Because T'Challa was like, when he was alive, he had the kid taken to Haiti.
Yeah.
To not
for the year that he knew him.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's.
I think they will. They'll do it because it's gonna be your call for the throne. You had enough time. Yada yada yada. Or just maybe they don't. I'm fine either fucking way.
Okay. Let me change my tune. by the time that kid's old enough, timeline wise, Marvel will be struggling enough for that to be the story. Like, but as of right now,
that's not gonna happen anytime fucking soon.
Like
no.
I think I just mean like as of right, like Kevin Feige won't be with Marvel when they do that kind of thing. Like that will be when they are really struggling, and they're like, oh, let's rehash. Like we've got T'Challa out there in Haiti. Let's just cast whoever the new Michael B. Jordan is of the fucking time, and he can be T'Challa Jr. and we're just gonna move. But that's just me. I don't know, because at the end of the day, the whole point of this movie is women empower, women empower, women empower. And all I hear people say is like, well, you got T'Challa later and M'Baku's king and he's going to be Black Panther. And I'm like, no, like that's not fucking happening. Like you have to realize that this is Disney making this and they're not going to give women anything and then take it from them and give it to a man. Like it's just not, that's why like I wanted fucking Okoye to be the Black Panther, because no man could step to that. Like that's just the way, like you give Okoye the heart-shaped herb, you're fucked. Like it's just game over, and I believe
immediately.
You know, so that's, but I digress.
This bitch took on superhumans as a human.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she's straight up and down, just Wakandan and fucking killing it. But okay, so a few things that you said. So first thing is obviously the Chadwick tribute there at the end with the intercutting. Yes, emotional, but I immediately am like, are you gonna show Ramonda? Like, and they just completely, like, that's why, like, you can't have another big death. And I get obviously why they're doing it.
Right. I was like, this wasn't about her. But that wasn't about her. Yeah.
Well, it 100% is about her, because she's burning the thing that she wore to both funerals.
Oh, yeah, but it's not for her. It's for Chadwick. I get what you're saying. But it's for Chadwick.
That's what I'm saying is I can't show my 15-year-old son this movie whenever I have him and say, great movie, right? He'll be like, what the fuck was that at the end? And I'm like, oh, well, the actor died. He'd be like, so? He's like, the movie, like, that was so weird. And I'm like, you're completely correct.
Oh, like, so we got her moment at the end to give Shuri her boost of morale. I think that was the point. But the point was to do that with Chadwick. I get what you're saying, but
correct. And so that's what I mean. Is it's one of those things that, like, narratively speaking, it doesn't make any sense. But Chadwick Boseman passed away, and 100% it needs to happen. I mean, you just have to do it. It's not even like you have a choice. But okay, so with Nakia is obviously great in the movie. You know, going to her, hey, I need you to be my underground, fucking spy again. And yeah, she finds fucking Talokan pretty damn easily. I'm not gonna lie. She talks to one person and finds out where that bitch is. But anyway, what I do want to get to is the after credit scene. So after credit scene is great. My problem goes back to the character when you're writing the script of Nakia, because which we all figured this would be the case. When we went into the movie, we figured Nakia would be pregnant with this kid or whatever. And so to see that happen, I liked it, because it was, I mean, I looked over after it ended and Hannah was bawling her eyes out. And that this is the problem, is I never teared up, got emotional at all in this movie. And I thought I would, but it just never hit. And I'm learning that I can't turn off the negative, like, screenplay doctor mind that I have, because basically what this did with the character of Nakia doing this, it destroys the character of Ramonda for me. Ramonda is the worst human being on the fucking planet and makes no sense whatsoever. You ready to hear why? Because for some strange reason, no one gets this on the first try, even though I had to look at my crying wife and I was like, oh my God, that got you. And she said, yeah. And then I said this. I said, so at the time, Ramonda had thought to have no living relatives remaining. And I'm going to go to Haiti knowing that I have a grandson that's living on his own with his mother. And I'm going to tell her she needs to go infiltrate the most powerful beings we've ever known and go to war to almost certain death. And leave the fucking kid behind. And no one else knows. And that makes no sense whatsoever. No one can explain it at all, because that is not the character of Ramonda. That's not any mother. Like, the fact that Nakia's like, I left that behind, I don't want to do it. She's like, no, I need you to do it. And she's like, okay, you're my queen. And it's like, no, bitch. Do you think Nakia would leave her fucking kid behind? She's like, wait, Shuri's dead? We have no one left? I gotta protect him. He's all we've got. Like, period. And so I told
she's dead, but
no, she said, I think my daughter, like, she thinks Shuri's dead. I need you to go find out. I need you to go down there and find her. And she says, you need to go find her and bring her back.
Right.
But she thinks that she's dead. They say it multiple times. I mean,
she says, I don't know if my child is alive or dead.
So presumingly,
right, there's a chance
think that she's dead. So there is 0% chance writing that story that either of those two characters would do those actions. Period. And I get it. And so that's what I'm saying. So when it comes to Nakia's great in the movie, but the problem is that he wrote two different stories there and had to meld it. And so you cannot have Nakia do all the awesome shit that she does in that movie and be the mother of T'Challa's son. You pick one or the other. Either she's out the whole time and people are going, like, Shuri's going, where's Nakia? We need Nakia. And Ramonda's like, Nakia's gone. You need to leave her behind. She is staying where she's at. And it's because the whole time Ramonda's protecting her grandson. I'm trying to protect T'Challa's legacy. Nakia is not coming here, period. They do not need to know that she is anywhere. She's dead. Like, whatever it takes to keep him alive. And that's one side. Or she doesn't have a kid. And then you have the story. And so it's a big problem for me because there was not a mother in the world that would have done that. Period. For either of them. Nakia's a shitty mom, and Ramonda's the worst human ever because she uses her royal, I'm the queen, you need to do what I need you to do. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll leave, my Haitian friend to take care of your grandson, the fucking true heir to the Wakandan throne. Like, okay. Like, no, doesn't fucking happen. So, and with that being said, like, obviously the after credit scene is great, super heartfelt, well acted, adorable, like all those things. Saying it's your favorite,
fucking soundtrack.
I mean, yeah, but I hated the soundtrack in this movie. Oh my god,
you're fucking insane.
It does not. It's not half as good as the first.
You're insane. We don't have to go any further with the soundtrack. It's okay.
Rihanna's song.
Oh, I would never get behind that shit. Never.
Dog shit. Okay, thank you.
Well, never. From day one when that shit released, I was like, this is stupid.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly.
I won't say stupid. That's harsh. But
no,
I was not feeling it. Yeah, I was like, it works better contextually in a movie than it does by itself.
Sure.
I was like,
but it's still just not. Yeah.
It's not. I'm like, y'all should have got Beyonce for this shit or some shit.
Oh my god. Exactly.
Because fucking Rihanna trying to do ballads never fucking works.
And hey,
ever.
Guess what? Let's bring her out of retirement to do one. It's like she hadn't fucking sang in a minute.
I was like, this is a song you bring out of retirement for, and it's not great.
Yeah.
For something as meaningful as this, I was like, that's a great way to market yourself.
Yeah, Beyonce would have been the way to go. It would have been the obvious choice, but
Beyonce would have definitely been the way to go. I was like, y'all bugging.
But so that's where, like, I don't know. It was that after credit scene rubbed me the wrong way. And it's great,
but also very true. Over-analytical at the moment.
But is it really?
It's not the point. Yeah.
That's my problem. Is they did not make this movie. They made the movie only to honor Chadwick. It's not a movie. Like, it's just, what can we do to please the fans? What can we do to please the fans?
That either.
And so I'm, what?
I don't know about that either. A good mid ground. I wouldn't say this is completely not a movie.
What?
But I'd say that part, sure, I'll give you.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, it is almost at every turn where I'm like, that's a little weird. It's like, oh, but he passed away and they needed to do that. And so and that's what I'm saying. We've known this from the jump. The day they announced this was happening, we were like, oh God, this soon, this is going to be the hardest thing ever. And that's why what I said from the jump is 100% still the truth for me. It's a long, clunky mess of a movie with the best of intentions. I think it's as good as Coogler could have done. It does not feel, it's half as good as every other Ryan Coogler movie. And that's understandable. And that's where my line is. But I don't ever want to watch it again because it makes me sad that this is what we got. Because really, I see it and I say, we should have waited another 2-3 years. Like, we needed more time to figure this out. Add more space to it, all these things. Like, it's a struggle and it's understandable, but like, I'm disappointed and I'm sad and it's fine. But it's good. It's just good. And because at the end of the day, I mean, you're still with Wakanda. You're still seeing the Black Panther. Namor's good. Ramonda's great. All those things, but it could have been a lot better. Like, that's what I hate. I hate how every single movie that comes out could have been a lot better. And that sucks. I do hate that.
I don't agree, but I do see your points. So I can't argue too much either, but I necessarily agree. Yeah. But I get it.
And that quote that you just said, I've told like 7 different people today that's exactly what John is going to say to me, because it's not about like, the movie could have been shit and you would have been like, but I loved it, for the other reasons. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's a different thing for you.
Oh, if it was shit, it would have been shit. Well, it wasn't shit.
Right, but it's not half as good as the first in terms of a narrative, story, direction, editing, writing. Doesn't stand even close to it.
Oh yeah, like, no, the first one's
and so that's
still much
so better. when I hear someone say I loved it, and you don't agree with like my negatives, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's just like, it's not like, that's why this isn't a debate. This is just us giving our thoughts with a wall in between, like this wall here. Like, we're not debating because there's no reason to debate. That's like me debating Fast and Furious. Like, you just like it, even though it's shit, you enjoy it, and that's okay. Like, that's just the way it is. It's all subjective. But like, if you think I'm going to walk up to like a 43-year-old mother of 3 that's a black woman in the theater and be like, movie was pretty dog shit, and she'd be like, that's the greatest thing anyone's ever made ever, and I'm gonna be like, nah, fucking awful. Like, she'll kill me because it is the greatest thing in the world to her, and it's very special and it's very important, and it healed her wounds and it helped her grieving and it did all these things, and I'm like, great. But like, I still like, this is one of those movies 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it will not come close to how people are feeling about it now. And it'll only be the people that's like, yeah, but Chadwick, y'all didn't get to experience Chadwick when he was this. Like, he's like, that's why it was like this good, not like all these things. And it's like, yeah, but he's not. Like, this is not a movie made to last, like, and continue things. Like, it's literally, and it ends with M'Baku being the king of Wakanda, and Shuri's gone. The Black Panther's not protecting her country. Like, she's the only line of defense. She left.
She's not gone. She's only doing the ritual. She don't leave, like, motherfuckers.
But like, if Namor showed up, GG's. Like, I mean, she didn't even take a fucking ship. She rode the back of a truck with some pig farmers, and like, I don't. And that's the thing. It's like that. It's a struggle because it's a early like starting screenplay writers thing where it's like, oh, but they kept telling her throughout the movie to put her technology down. And it's like, okay, cool. She had half a fucking pint of that herb and didn't let anybody else have it. Like, she should have been handed that shit out like at church, like sip of wine, like blood of God, blood of God. Like,
can I get some of that too?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you're young T'Challa? Yeah, go ahead and give you some of this. Like, I mean, it would have been like, you should have been handing that shit out like fucking grapes. And
they should have.
And instead it's like
multiple.
Oh, okay, I'm Black Panther now. See ya.
At least give them to like the leaders. Like give it to M'Baku,
exactly.
give it to Okoye, and
yeah,
call it a day.
Right.
And Nakia,
that is the thing, is if you ask Kenya, he's already said this once. I can't remember if it was a tweet or if he was texting me or something, but like, he is dying to see the Black Panther costume that M'Baku gets to have one day. That's a mixture of the gorilla and the panther, and
it's definitely gonna be a gorilla.
And that's what I mean. Is he will be the silverback gorilla, like.
Yeah, there's no panther anywhere in that suit. It's
right.
all gorilla.
But he's just gonna have the heart-shaped herb, and like, I just like Okoye could have had a suit that has some red in it. That's what I mean. To like giving Okoye a blue suit. Like when she said like, okay, I'll get in it, fucking make it red, and they would have been like, fine, we'll make yours red, and like that would have been dope, you know. Because then that was the other thing too, is she was like, how many of these suits do you have? And I was like, oh, she'll get a red one, the whole rest of them will get blue ones. Like, oh, we have exactly the amount for all of, you know. And no, there's just two. It's like, what? I'm like, we get this one that's just introduced. With the girl that was introduced is really good. I mean, she's fine in the movie, but like, I was like, that's just weird. Like, you could have had a team of them, and y'all might have stood a chance.
That's where I thought they were going, but I remember there's only two of them.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we haven't even really talked about the final fight.
Yeah.
You know, but
between Shuri and Namor.
Yeah, I thought that the editing is terrible, and this is another stupid fucking thing. I don't know why they would do this. It adds nothing to the movie. You're not gonna kill Shuri. Like, you're really gonna make me waste my fucking time?
Couldn't that be some shit if they did though? I was like, oh shit, she's dead too. Of course,
they would never. There's a 0% chance. Like, they just killed the queen.
It's like, we can't kill everybody in here.
Like, I mean, if Ramona was alive, I would have been like, oh fuck, what if?
Yeah.
And like, they could be doing an Infinity War here, and it ends with Ramona being the only one left. And no.
Besides maybe T'Challa.
Fucking, well, that'd be the after credits scene.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's like, I hated that. I really hated that. And then don't even get me started about after he yields, and then all of a sudden they're just up on that ship, and he's like, don't kill them. And then she's like, Wakanda forever. Like, just fucking hype as shit. And they're all like, we were about to die, bitch. Like, they're like, what the fuck do you mean? They're like, get the fuck down here. Like, she's like, what are you doing? And oh my god, like, I was just shaking my head. It was so fucking bad. And
it's funny. I think it was bad. I just said, like, they made peace. Let's go. Stop whooping the ass. It's time to go. Let's get out of here.
But like, he's like, Talo Khan. He's like, yeah, hey, we're okay. And then she's like, what god? Just starts like, that's like all she does. And I was like, you do realize,
like, bitch, there's three of us left.
Every warrior y'all had was 5 seconds away from death. Like, that y'all had no shot. Maybe now's not the time to start repping the fucking house. Like, that's not like Namor should have been like, you know where we're at now? He's like, you got no shot again, bitch. Like, do you want to go ahead and quit talking shit? Like, he's like, I yielded back there.
Yo, Taylor Khan, they're deep, bro. They're like, oh my god.
They got a bench.
There's a lot of y'all, bro. And you're all superhuman? What?
Yeah, they all fuck. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, god damn, because it's like, you know what with villains, they just like to talk shit. It's like, bro, you can't rock with us. We got this, that, and that, and they were like, yeah, no, we call you in your bluff, we're whooping your ass.
That's right.
No, these motherfuckers was definitely was like, yeah, no, you can't hang with us.
Yeah.
You can't hang, bro.
The blades of grass line from Namor is his best line in the movie.
Yeah,
because
more soldiers in this place has blades of grass.
I wish that we had seen that. Like just I don't know how they would have done it, but like it would have been cool.
A lot and too much.
But like for like when he said that, everybody in the theater's like, fucking for real? Like, whereas if we had like somehow, like, I don't think it, it would have added to the runtime, whatever, but like if we had somehow seen, we never got that sense of scale of how big Talo Khan really is, because it's obviously unfucking believable.
Yeah.
If he's saying, like, I mean, hey man, we're in Africa, we got a lot of grass. And he's like,
because that was just capital city they went to. That wasn't even all like fucking.
Right. That's exactly. So it's like, he's like, yeah, I know how much grass you have. And he's like, we have more.
It's not enough.
Yeah. It's a dirty fucking line. Absolute dirty line.
It is.
And
I hate to come back here under different circumstances. I was like, oh shit. All right. Well, heard it, partner. My bad.
It's like, maybe we don't fuck with them.
Right.
So
if I see one Wakandan ship,
right,
it's a wrap.
She dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie has awesome moments, obviously, and it is not the worst movie ever. And I tweeted about this, but we are not going to do the best picture bullshit again. Like,
well, first one wasn't bullshit, but this one definitely does not deserve to be.
First one was a lot of bullshit, but
definitely was not insane.
The Dark Knight didn't get nominated for best fucking picture,
which was stupid. That's the reason why the shit fucking expanded.
That's what I'm saying. So you cannot nominate something for best picture that gets no nods acting wise.
We know that the Academy is full of shit. So it's not exactly the best thing to go by.
It didn't deserve any of that. Like, it did not deserve. It's not even the best Marvel movie. Like, you can't.
Wildin'.
Like, it's just
but
not.
This one definitely does not.
Yeah, but I've already seen a
people want Angela
commercial from Marvel Studios. They used a quote that said, "This is a Best Picture nominee," and it's the main thing they plaster. The biggest quote they put. We're not that you are ruining the genre's chances, or at least Marvel's chances, of ever getting real Academy looks when you're pushing yes, this movie is very important to society and everything, and I love that. I truly do. That's why I wish it was a better movie for me, because it's so important. But like, we can't keep saying like, oh yeah, but this is like a feat, like all black cast, all women, powerful women. It's like best picture, and it's like, no, if it was a better movie, we would be talking about this. But like, at the end of the day, it's, the person on the poster whose face is the biggest is the least talented actor in the whole movie. It's like, you can't get a best picture nom out of Letitia Wright's led movie. It's just not going to happen. Not now. Maybe after a few years, like I would think now Marvel's like, hey, we're going to put you through the fucking ringer and we need to make you something. But it's just not where, I mean, I don't know. And yeah, we'll talk that CGI at the end. There's just moments where like Riri's suit at the end never looks finished. It's like sparkling clean, spotless Power Ranger suit.
Yeah, it's brand new.
And
fresh out the lot.
And
like
I feel bad for Letitia Wright, because they do they pull a Tom Holland on her, where she's got the helmet on and it goes away and her ears pop out wider than the helmet. Her head is wider than the helmet. And and so when she's wearing the suit, she's got that Civil War Tony Stark, that scene in Civil War at the airport where it's like floating head. Every time she's in that suit, it just doesn't look right, because her, like, even though she's skinny, she's thicker than what if they put the whole helmet on, it's supposed to look like. So it just doesn't look right. It's just unfinished, and I wish it wasn't the case because they've had a lot of time to do this. But besides that, I mean, most of the CG is good, but the third act is where it lost everyone in my screening. I mean, the writing and editing is just rough because all of a sudden we have to make Shuri Black Panther. So it's all right, but
I guess. But it was funny. I mentioned this earlier at the beginning of different experiences. So I realized I've never had such a cultural difference in experience since this.
okay.
Seeing, a full black movie with an all black audience
Yeah.
and an all white one.
Sure.
And an all white one. Both times, the first two times I've seen the movie is obviously mostly, black crowd, everything like that. So everything was hidden, all the culture, all the looks, all the comedy, all the feels, all the whatever, because there's just certain things in black culture that these characters do. It's just like, yo, it's hilarious. We get that. I went, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And it was all white. There might have been, like, including myself, maybe 2 or 3 black people, all white. So I guess the weekend went to, all black folks, and then the week was like, okay, white people was like, we can go see it now. Come on. That shit was so dull, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like y'all
that's kind of what
anything.
I'm talking about is that I don't know how to really say this. I don't mean this in a negative way, but like I truly believe like someone who is as big of a fan of Black Panther as you are already, like I don't know. I think it's interesting because like if we go back to the film cave 5 months ago, you said, if Shuri's the only Black Panther, I'm gonna fucking riot. And
I'm still not sold on her.
And this movie ended, and I go, oh God, I said, I feel so bad for John because this movie's not that good. And Shuri's the only Black Panther. And then you see it, and you're like, I loved it. Everyone go see it 1,000,000 times. And I was like, okay, you've taken the route. It's uncontrollable, but this movie is more important to you than it being good. Like it being a very great movie. It's not about that. It's about what it does for you. And that's great. And that's what I'm talking about is like, I walked in there and I was like, all right, Coogler, fucking murder this. Show me that you took this by the reins and killed it. And that's asking for a miracle for obvious reasons. And I knew that, but I'm sitting there going like, the trailers have been great. Like y'all sold me on this movie. Like, let's fucking go. And there's problems with it, but legitimately, the guy that's dressed as fucking black. When I tell you, I should have took a picture of him. But the guy that was cosplaying, it looked like he made M'Baku's suit. It had fur on the back, on the shoulders, and on down the back. It was full blown. It's fucking incredible. And I can guarantee you, this is his movie of the year. It's, all those things, and that as it should be. Like, I get that. Like, that's like, a kid. If I give a 7-year-old kid that loves, I don't know, fucking Peppa Pig, and then I'm like, do you want to go see the Peppa Pig movie? And then I take them. It's their favorite movie they've ever seen. It's the most incredible thing they've ever seen. It's because they're diehards, like that's just the way it goes. And so like, I have stopped being able to do that because I kind of used to be that with every superhero movie imaginable. Was like, or like, especially when I was a kid and it was Transformers. So I went and saw the second Transformers and was like, holy shit, new favorite movie. And I saw that thing in theaters like 5-6 times. And then it wasn't until years later that I realized that it's not good. Like I was a freshman in high school or whatever when that shit came out. Like it was just, I didn't know. And so I'm interested to see, like, first of all, I don't see Coogler coming back for a hot minute. I think he's going to be fucking exhausted. I think he probably wants to go make some.
He's chilling.
I think he wants to go make a passion project in like a year or two, where he gets full control of the script and everything, and maybe, you know, like I doubt he could have any fun making this movie. Like, I wouldn't. I'd be fucking worried sick. Like,
You know, it's a lot,
terrible.
but it's.
So
I want to speak with that. I don't agree with that at all.
I mean, I
I feel
don't
like I would
expect you
have-
to say that, but
Right. I don't agree. I would think I get the feels in Chadwick's portion. Outside of that, as a film, I still really liked it. I'm still not on board with Shuri as a Panther. I'm not convinced. So it's like, if I was truly on that bias, which I can see, I wouldn't have shit to say any of that, and I love it all and no negatives.
well, but like that's how
not
you
how
were
it
about
works.
the end credit scene. Like, I brought up a very real problem with the end credit scene. You're like, I'm biased, and it's my favorite.
Yeah, I mentioned that particular favorite.
So
I
that's
love
what
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's my
But that
point.
doesn't equate, because I do with that with the whole movie. That's just one particular thing. That personally, that end credit for me, yes, I'll say there's biasy to it because it's fucking beautiful. I loved it. But to speak that in a generality, absolutely not. There's issues. There's that. I'm not sold on the lead. And the shit for Chadwick, that obviously those parts I love.
Yeah.
But as a film, I really dug it. It's not the first one for me. It's not overlapping. Doesn't need to be best picture. But I said there's just ways. Well, I guess an onion. There's layers to when it comes to that. But yeah, so we'll see. It's not. I don't know where I'd place it in like overall MCU right now.
Oh god,
I'd have to think about that. Right? I'd have to think about that.
I think I'd make a lot of people upset.
Probably the odds are high. But I don't know. We'll see. Then they say has Black Panther 3 written already. I did not see that anywhere.
I've never heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly doubt that.
Yeah. He's like you said. I think it's break time from him. And
I mean, there's a reason why he
Marvel.
almost backed out of making this one, because that's fucking nightmare. Like, worst job ever. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's we'll take a minute. What if it was trash? I'd hate it.
And that's the thing, is no one's saying it's trash,
Right.
but that's my point, is like, it's a passable movie, and so you're like, yeah, I loved it. I'm like, okay, like, it makes sense.
Oh. Well, yeah, I think it's a little more than passable, but I get it. I want back.
Like I would like this is obviously not top 10 Marvel movies. Like this is like Phase 4 has been. This is mid-tier Phase 4.
Would you say it's the best Phase 4 film so far?
No.
Really? What would you put before it? Which is interesting because you
Shang-Chi.
think all is shitty.
Yeah, Shang-Chi and probably Spider-Man are both better than this.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I mean, and I have
definitely Shang-Chi.
I mean, I have problems with both of those, but like Shang-Chi is, I hate like seeing Shang-Chi. I was like, hey, this is really good and fun, and like I have some issues with it, but it's really good and fun. But like to realize that's the best Phase 4 movie, like Marvel, I'm trying to fucking stay on the train, man.
Great.
Like this is
At
rough.
First viewing, when the Chadwick feels was in, I was like, "Oh, this is the best of Phase 4."
Right.
I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, no."
That's why I don't want to see it again, because I'm scared it'll implode even more for me. So I'm like, I just need to keep the positives in my head, and just because you got to realize I saw it with a theater in IMAX full of people that waited in line for like 6 hours. Like these are true diehard. Like it was the best crowd I could, and I was like, okay, I just need to remember this. Like, I'm not gonna.
And it's just like. And that sometimes, like, I see movies, obviously multiple fucking times.
Yeah.
If it's like that first night, that hype is there, the emotion's there. It's like, 100%. Yes, fucking great.
Yeah.
This was like, okay, now I have to see it without all that shit's gone. Go
That's
right
why
out and see it again.
that's why I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like if this is my hype day one, I'm like, just ride with it. Like, cause I'm already, so like that's just my mindset. One other thing I do gotta add, I'm very furious about, and I'm interested to see your point because you're big on this too. The entire final battle or the final fight between Shuri and Namor, not in IMAX.
I peeped that.
What?
Like they'd go from the water IMAX and then back to Shuri.
Exactly. And I was like, this is awful. Like, and I remember that with the trailer because they released the trailer with the IMAX scenes and where it goes sync that shot. I was like, okay, that's not an IMAX. I was like, but maybe if they, with the expanded ratio, it would have shown a little bit more of who it was or whatever. So they're trying to hide that because I've literally seen movies hide IMAX scenes in an IMAX trailer anyway. And so I was like, that's what they're doing. But that whole fight,
the whole thing,
and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I guess Kugler would just say like, oh, I wanted it to be more intimate and enclosed and claustrophobic. That's an easy way to, talk around that. But like, I'm in the boat that no Marvel movie should be in anything but IMAX, like the whole time.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. Like, even if you like film it to where on a normal screen, you'll have that feel. Like that's the whole point is you're only going to get this in IMAX. We want the grander, we want the slightly wider looking shots and whatever. Like I think Infinity War and Endgame do that super well. Where like you need to see that thing in IMAX.
Yeah.
Or like Top Gun really does that well. So super weird on that.
That was annoying. I did catch that. I'm like, why is this fight not in?
Like it takes the epicness
IMAX
away from, and because the back and forth choppiness from the battle that's not as cool to this, and I'm like, the IMAX is reversed. If you're gonna have one in IMAX, like, at least give me the fucking Black Panther scene.
It was. Like, plus the way Namor was moving and fucking fighting, I was like, bro, why are you closing this shit in? Like,
give it to me wide. Give me that.
All of it.
So that's what it was funny because Kenya was like, "Oh man, I loved the action with all the wide shots," and I'm like, "Yeah, in the two boat scenes, like that's the only time. Like I'm like, but the final fight was the direction is rough, man. Like I feel bad. Like it wasn't fun. It was not good.
I don't know. I like the fight. I think definitely should have been better in IMAX. It was closed off. But
I mean, there's definitely a part of me where it's like the Shuri thing where she's like, I have to just be like, hey, she should not be kicking his ass. Like, sorry, like it just doesn't work because she can't fight.
Well, majority she wasn't, but when she's having her come up, I was like, okay, it's her time now.
And I mean, when she's on that boat and she does like the backflip and then slide down the thing, I was like, oh, fuck, when you get this? Like this,
that's what I'm saying.
You were talking about that, and I mean, it's true, and that's where I'm like, somebody could say, "Hey, quit looking at it too real," and I'm like, "Okay," I'm like, I just care more about, I want these to hold up. But where do you think we'll see Namor again? Like, when's the next time?
In Cap.
You think?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they have to. Because, like I said, those are the bridging stories between those two. Yeah. There's between the government and, Wakanda and Tolakan and all that shit. For the resources and all the other shit. That's what they want. So I think, because you can't do those stories and not have fucking Namor not anywhere near.
Right.
This shit.
I just hope they're not dumb enough to make Anthony Mackie fight him.
I mean, he has a vibranium suit. Maybe that'll help him. That'll help him out. Take some blows a little bit, and the shield and the wings.
I mean, as soon as Namor's fucking quick.
He's quick as fuck, dude.
Like, just through the air. Like, I mean, he just
like,
he clotheslines Sam, and we're watching his head fall to the ground. Like, they full on decapitating his ass. So,
well, I don't know. He got the vibranium neck. He got all that. It might hurt, but I think he might stay. Hurt him up a little bit.
Well, he's got vibranium. He's got a bracelet on. He can fucking chop through that shit. What did Shuri get stabbed with? The vibranium
spear.
Spear? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I came through. I was like, oh, well, that sucks. I was like, well, damn, you didn't see that. You didn't see that coming. But yeah, I'm curious to see because Namor is by far just a complete and utter badass. So I want to see him take some more people on. I need more of him. So
Definitely.
we shall see. We shall see. Okay, we will get a Red Hulk versus Namor too.
Yeah, correct.
That would be fucking Red Harrison Ford fighting Namor.
I'm so scared about what that's going to look like. But you are correct. Where you have a mutant who's as strong as the Hulk,
Yeah.
and his one weakness is heat, dehydration, and then you have a Hulk who can heat his body up. I mean, that's a fight and a half right there.
Yeah.
If anything, we should see the death of Namor. I mean,
really, already?
If they were going to be, they obviously won't. But if they were going to write it correctly, yeah, I mean that's the whole point. Is like you could take Namor to a beach that's like, hey, it's not fucking humid there. There's no moisture in the air, Namor, and like, yeah, there's a fire right behind him, but like, move away, like on the other side of her. Like I don't like why
I don't think he expected a fucking flame burst from a
like why the fuck, like he's just sitting there getting burned and shit. And it's like, oh my god, like so yeah. I mean, if you think Ross isn't gonna be like, oh, you don't like heat, huh? Cool. Like it's just like I'm just gonna hold you.
Fuck was
just hold him like a baby and be like, oh, you gonna die, you little bitch? Like this is y'all's champion, like. I don't know.
With you.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like literally, Red Hulk is made to kill this Namor. They obviously would not do that. He will be Namor for. I think that they are going to try. You gotta think about this. Namor in this is Chadwick in Civil War. This is their new guy. He knocks it out of the park as best he can. Minority actor. Represents a lot of things for unrepresented people. Really does well.
Now they have their own symbol. They have their own salute.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're gonna fucking, gonna go all out with them, and as they should, because he has his own Wakanda. It's kind of a weird thing, but what he does.
I don't see how you do that. Unless he wears a suit.
He just brings a bottle of water.
He just pours on a mid-floor. All right, let's go.
But does a triple H. Right. Fucking dump that shit on his head.
Right.
Let's fucking go, boy.
I don't think. Unless, like you said, unless Shuri helps him, maybe. Sure.
Maybe he water cools his underwear.
Like, yeah, adjust this. It will keep water running through you all the time. I don't fucking know. Incapable of dehydration or some shit. Who knows? They're Wakandan. They can figure it out.
That's right. It's weird that he hadn't figured that out since he's got vibranium too.
Right. Well, he's not as smart like that. He's not a genius like Shuri.
Water bombs
manipulate it and do whatever, but yeah, they are. Those water bombs are a problem.
They were a little OP. I'm not gonna lie.
They were. When the fucking whales are bringing all them shits back, I was like, whoa.
I was like, oh fuck.
Like that's not well, that can't be good. No, it cannot.
Yeah, that's right.
It cannot, M'Baku. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, shit. Okoye took one to the face.
Yeah, for real. She ate that shit, man. That's what I'm saying. She's the shit.
God damn.
They made a mistake on that.
They did.
And what about him? What about M'Baku as king?
That's cool. I rock with it. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dope. I mean, it's the next logical, I guess, choice if you want to make one.
I just don't get why we wouldn't have Shuri just be queen.
That's why I didn't. So for me, generally, I just took it as he's just still king of his place. He was like, hey, wants to come take me off of my throne since this bitch ain't here. I didn't take him as king of Wakanda, unless you like read that somewhere. I don't know. I just think because, hey, she's not here. Who wants to fight me for my throne? And I just thought he was like, fight me for my throne. She's busy.
Wait, it's the same thing as, I mean, he came to fight for the throne in Black Panther 1, not his own. Like, he came for the throne.
Right.
And so he literally gets off the ship and he's like, hey, he's like, we're here for her coronation and she's not here. So who would like to, and this is funny because it kind of talks about what I was saying later. It's like, maybe he's like, I'll be king. Like, anybody want to fight me for throne? No. Okay, I'm king until she gets back, and then she'll kick my ass on this.
Like interim king. Yeah.
But she would have to, for it to make sense, she has to get the herb taken away, and then he pops her head like a fucking pigeon. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's gonna.
She's like, oh, I get to fight with the herb, and he's like, oh, you're a girl. And it's like, oh, this is not good. Ryan, what are you writing?
He said, just kick me in the shin and I'll yield. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my Achilles.
Yeah.
I yield. And I was like, okay, here's, take the ab. There you go. I'm going back to my people. I'm going back to my people. Thank you. So.
She should have just given like at least a couple sips to people. Like, no, I get the full tilt, but like you can have a sip. Like, don't tell nobody.
Right.
Don't tell your mama.
Right. Don't say shit.
Okay, just a sip.
And if you got into a fight, you got really lucky. That's all. That's right. You've been working out. That's it.
That's right.
You've been working out. But I punched him across the field. You've been working out. It's like, all right.
It's like, you've been killing in the gym.
All right.
Fucking
the Wakanda steroids, son. There's nothing like them. Sorry. All right. So I think that's going to do it. We talked enough about Wakanda. Good show.
Did we talk for 2 hours about it?
An hour and a half.
Because remember at 8:30 or 9:30 your time, you were like, it's only been 30 minutes, but we're...
Yeah.
So it was almost 2 hours that we talked about.
Good. Yeah.
Almost the full runtime.
Makes sense. Facts. Absolutely. I will say that there were a little bit of times where I did feel it. I was like, okay, it's a long movie. Got it.
My fix for that was I don't know how they would have to write it, but I think it's possible that Namor and Chadwick spoke, and like either Chadwick denied or Chadwick had an agreement to like, hey, we're cordial, and then now he's gone and we have this vibranium thing, but instead we had to like get introduction of like everything, and I feel like we could have at least chopped off at 20 minutes by kind of like, because that's what, like M'Baku knows him, like we have books about him. It's like, well, we don't. Like, fuck, you get them books. So I don't know, I feel like they could have shaved some time off, but it was, you know, it is a lot of movie.
All right.
You didn't even get the whole. They gave her a lot. Like, she's a little girl. She don't need the whole thing.
They gave her a lot.
That's what she should have been handing it out.
Went to cardiac arrest. They want to give her too much.
Yeah.
Give her the whole shit. Just fucking. It's like, oh fuck. It's like,
she's going down.
Someone fucking defibrillate.
They've got the beads on her chest to bring her back already.
Like, defibrillate. Too much. Make the bitch throw up.
As soon as she closed her eyes and laid down, Okoye should have been like, fucking down that shit. Like, don't tell her. Like, she can't fight for shit.
Where did the rest go?
I used to try to train her, and she can't fight for shit.
She has no sense of awareness. We are fucked. You want some here, bitch? Try. Hurry up.
Just try. I'll throw it back up. I already got it. I'll throw it back up. And just take it.
Just take it. Fucking don't say shit, bitch. And out the suit, you're the shit. It's like, all right, fine.
That's right. Okay, that's funny.
Shit. All right, good stuff. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me right here, Logan_Swish, YouTube, Patreon as well. We've got Andor going on. I can't remember what even episode it is tomorrow. 11 of 12, I think. So episode before the finale. And then also on Twitch, Logan Swish. I've been streaming God of War on both YouTube and Twitch, but Twitch is the better experience. And yeah, I plan on finishing God of War this week, so definitely be on the lookout for those streams.
Yes, sir. And you can find his channel in the link in my description box if you're watching through
asking you find his.
Yes, and you can find me up top on all forms of the social media. So be sure to go hit that follow, show your love and support. It would be greatly appreciated. It's your boy Knight.
And I'm Logan.
And as always, we will see you in the cave. Peace.
See you guys.